All right, hello and welcome to GRLCS Fall 2019 Gold Division Week 3. I am Darren Mark Hameswin, and I'm here with Mayor Snematic, who's going to be my co-caster today.
Hi, I'm the voice over the internet.
Yes, I accidentally forgot to, change the name labels on the camera, but I will fix that between games. But let's go and get right into it for Week 3. Our first game of the day is going to be GMB versus Team 633 /. Let's go and introduce the teams.
All right. Well, I need a screen share.
Yes, I will do that for you right now. I'm on it. There we go. All right, let's do it. All right, on the blue side, we have GMB. In the top lane, we have Emery's 3 on his Renekton. In the jungle, we have Creativity Yoke on Sejuani. In the mid lane, we have Lord Zoten on Xerath. In the bot lane, we have Marco Flavo and El Big Daddy 28 on Caitlyn and Pyke.
And on the other side, we have Team 63 /. In the top lane, we're going to have I'm Heimo playing Shen. In the jungle will be Siren on Echo. Joe Barrow manning the mid lane on his LeBlanc, and in the bottom lane, Seeker's Funky Mama and Vid, and also Vid potentially playing Ezreal and Braum.
Yeah, so this is going to be a very interesting game because GMB got so many of their comfort picks, actually. The Renekton, the Sejuani, the Xerath, and then a really powerful bot lane to add to that.
Yeah, it seems like it's power versus power. A lot of really power picks for these teams came through. Siren playing Echo in the jungle is one of his favorite champions, I remember from splits ago. So it'll be interesting to see if he's got the jungle mechanics to go with the Echo mechanics. And then Joe Barrow returning on the LeBlanc, which I got the opportunity to play against twice last week. It's super fun. Really interactive champion.
Yes, absolutely interactive champion, but last week on the LeBlanc, he wasn't too effective, I believe. Watching him on the stream, he didn't do as much with the champion as he could, and he messed up a lot of his distortions. So I'm curious to see this week if he improves from week to week, or it stays mostly the same.
Yeah, I will say in game 1, he absolutely dumpstered me after Heimel kind of sat mid for a little bit. So I have a little bit of a distorted view of it, but yeah, I'm excited to see how it does into the Xerath. The Xerath can play a little bit safer than a lot of the champions that I was playing, so we'll see if Joe Barrow can get in and do the damage that he needs to.
Yeah, now we look at this bot lane. We have Vid and Seeker's Funky Mama on Ezreal and Braum, and Ezreal and Braum isn't one of the more common bot lanes, I would say, right now. Braum not really, one of those meta picks right now, although he is exceptionally well, but he's not picked as often as the other supports. And with the Braum and the Ezreal, they have a lot of ways to stack that Braum passive, especially with that Q. So it's a really powerful bot lane in terms of all-in to match that Pyke and Caitlyn. But the problem is it's going to be really difficult for Ezreal with a shorter range, as well as Braum having to walk up to the minions, and Marco Flavo being able to poke that one out.
Yeah, and that was really nicely done by Vid, actually. He stepped in front of the hook from El Big Daddy to take a little bit of that damage, prevent it from going on to Seeker's Funky Mama. Of course, your support can always be a little bit more sustained than the AD carry thanks to the extra health pot that you get to have.
Yeah, absolutely. And we look up to the top lane now. We have the Renekton versus the Shen. And Shen did get buffed recently. I believe it was in the last 3 patches or so. So he is a bit stronger, but it is the Renekton with that shield breaker. But, the Renekton doesn't necessarily use shield breaker that much. You have to charge up the Fury and consume it to break that shield. And I feel like it's just not that common to be able to use it in a trading pattern like that.
Something I wanted to point out, we're stuck on Renekton cam just a little bit, but Creativity Yak went in and contested the Raptor camp with Siren, so both junglers are aware of each other's locations right now, and it means that we might not see any aggressive plays from the Sejuani early on. Echo, I guess I'm not as familiar with, so it'll be interesting to see kind of what his ganking pattern is. And actually, there's a roam from El Big Daddy as he's getting some vision.
Yeah, Siren will about to get the stun. He's going to get stunned up, even though he tried to flash away, and he's going to go down. The Ignite will take him out, and First Blood goes over the Siren.
Yeah, and
he's got by El Big Daddy here. He's going to get stunned and ignited. He's going to get taken down. An excellent roam from El Big Daddy.
Yeah, El Big Daddy already in the area was getting some vision down in that banana bush. and just decided, oh, hey, my mid laner died. I guess I better swoop in, get that return kill. So really good heads up play from El Big Daddy.
Yeah, and I'm Heimel traming really well into Emery's 3. Oh, I'm sorry, Emery 3. No, Emery's 3. Yeah, I got it right the first time. But so Emery's 3 has been that big split push player for this team, for Get Money Boys. They've really been counting on him to be a menace in the side lane. Oh, Sagar's Funky Mama, he's going to take a lot of damage. He's going to almost go down, and he will go down from that pilt over pacemaker. Yes.
Yeah, just steps a little bit too far forward to try to get that trade back as El Big Daddy charges up the pike hook, but takes an extra tower shot or two, and unfortunately not able to sustain all the way through that, and Marco Flavo will be the recipient of that one.
Yeah, but as I was saying, Emery's 3 with this big Renekton pick, it's something that he's played in recent weeks, and I'm surprised that he got it once again. It's just so important to this team that they have Emery's 3 on his comfort pick, that he's able to just split push in the side lane and cause pressure, because a lot of the teams in this gold division are unable to, match that pressure in the side lane. But with that Shen pick, I really like the Shen pick here, because it allows them to match that side lane pressure, at least wave clear against it, hold against it, but also have the Shen ultimate to get over where he needs to be on the other side of the map.
Yeah, I think that it might have been a setup by 63 backslash, maybe to bait that Renekton pick and then counter with the Shen, potentially something that they've been practicing or know will work well against it. So sometimes if you know your opponent's tendencies to pick that strong pick, you can bait it out and then hit him with a counter.
Yeah, absolutely. And I bet you in the champ select, though, as well, they could have flexed the Shen support, and they probably last picked Braum, just because Braum isn't one of those picks where you need to pick it so early as well.
Yeah, that's a better trade for Memories, though.
Yeah, Emery's
we've seen Heimel getting better of the trade so far, but a little bit better from Memories there, although Heimel hasn't got back yet. So.
Yeah, now Heimel is looking to back pretty soon, but he's going to find a trade here with Emery's. Cyrene is pretty close, but he's not close enough. Heimel's going to have to dash away on this one. He's going to finally take his back. But now that Emery's is back, he has his Kindle Gem. He has that very important CDR for Renekton. These 80, bruiser caster type champions. It's really important for them to get this early CDR, so often they'll rush the Kindle Gem to be able to get that. Oh, and here comes El Big Daddy, not going to land the hook, but we see Lord Zoten in the area. But he's going to go ahead and leave this one. Jobero is in the river. He might catch Lord Zoten on the rotation here, but Lord Zoten's going to go around.
He needs to be careful because Creativity Yuck's in the area as well, and Cyrene's still on the top side of the map. I like what Creativity Yuck's done with his pathing so far. We haven't seen him go for any aggressive plays, but he's pushed in continually into 63 backslash's jungle and gotten vision, gotten knowledge on where Cyrene is, and it's allowed them to track his jungle path a little bit better, especially on a character that you might not see as much in the jungle.
Yeah, and Echo has those really strong ganks with his, that parallel convergence CC, I believe. No, that's his ultimate. But, that his CC that provides naturally from his kit, it allows for really nice gank setups, and a lot of damage as well from the Echo jungle pick. The problem with the Echo jungle pick is it just doesn't clear as fast as some of the other jungle picks. But Cyrene's keeping up pretty well with Creativity Yoke on the Sejuani.
Yeah, Creativity Yoke and El Big Daddy already on that blue side. They're getting vision of Cyrene doing his wolves right now, as there's a small exchange in top lane.
Yeah, now Heimel has that Bomby Cinder, and he's looking to trade pretty aggressively onto Emery's 3. Vince stuns up El Big Daddy, but they don't know that Creativity Yoke is in the area. I wonder if they're going to be able to get out of this one. Vince's going to go and hop away, and they're going to get away for safe.
Yeah, and they have that vision. Look at the vision near their blue side area. Cyrene roaming down was spotted. They should know that they're looking potentially for a 3v3 in the bot lane.
Yeah, just excellent vision control from Get Money Boys. They completely control that bot side. Only one ward from Team 63 backslashes in the area. But, it just isn't seeing much. We see Cyrene in the area. He's ready to hop over on that wall and go in. Marco Flavo just used his dash, and now Cyrene is here. El Big Daddy's going to go and dash away from this one, and Creativity Yoke is in the area to counter gank if he needs to.
Yeah, and it's while the Vision's placed aggressively, they're using it very defensively. They're making sure that Siren can't get in, and they can maintain their bullying with this Caitlyn over the Ezreal. And it's gotten them a 10 CS advantage so far, and could potentially string that out if this laning phase continues to
Yeah,
go on.
oh my goodness, the Glacial Prison comes out. Seaguard's Funky Mama has to flash away. No, that was a dash away, but he uses his heal, and now the ultimate will come out from Ezreal, and they're gonna get out of this one, but they see Siren in the river. El Big Daddy is on the outside of this one, but he's just gonna go and back away.
Yeah, Lord Zoten coming down, and I think that Siren's going to check out of that one, although this is a nice trade from Heimel. Really bullying the Renekton in the top lane isn't something that normally happens.
Yeah, Heimel knowing this matchup really well, the Shen into the Renekton, so he's finding these excellent trading windows, but El Big Daddy has level 6. Seago's Funky Mama might go down, but he's going to go and flash away. Lord Zoten is going to channel his right of the Arcane, but Marco Flava is going to pick that one up with the ace in the hole.
Oh no, Vid overcompensated with his flash, and Seeker's Funky Mama went back the other way. There's just too many things to dodge with the right of the Arcane and the ace in the hole, and Seeker's Funky Mama goes down as a result.
Yeah, Seaguard's Funky Mama now 0-2 on this Ezreal pick, and that's just the result of the super strong vision control from Get Money Boys. They're bullying out Seaguard's Funky Mama and Vid, pushing them to tower, and getting this very important tower plating that's early in the game.
Yeah, this is creating kind of an interesting scenario where the top half of the map seems a little bit stronger for 63 backslash with Heimel, and we really need to see him unlocked and using that Shen ultimate to help turn these plays around in bot side and get Ezreal back into the game.
Yeah, and Heimel's about to pick up a ton of CS that's crashing into his tower here. But Jobera is really low right here. He's going to get stunned up, actually, and he might almost get... That is really close, but Jobera's barely going to live from that one.
Yeah, no right of the Arcane, no ace in the hole to follow up, so he'll be able to walk out of there with probably single-digit health if I had to approximate.
Yeah, but Siren is in the area now. He's looking for a gank, but it's not seen. Seaguard's Funky Mama about to get engaged on by El Big Daddy in the bot side. We'll see if the hook lands here. He's going to go ahead and dash away, but meanwhile in the top lane, Heimel goes in on the Emery's, and now Emery's trying to dash his way out of this one. The CC does not land. It's not going to be enough. But Emery's going to go back in. He's going to try to stun his way out of this one, but it's just going to be a short trade for now. Vid's going to go ahead and get hooked in. He's going to get stunned up. He's not going to get jumped away far enough. Marco Flava's going to go on a killing spree.
Yeah, and already with that Infinity Edge on Caitlyn, although the fun's not done as Siren hits the R button to leave the engagement in the top lane. It's kind of weird. 63 backslash is playing.
Yeah, hold that thought.
Global.
Seaguard's Funky Mom's getting dove right now. He's going to try to take out one before he goes down. But Heimel going to try to use that Twilight Assault to save his team, but it's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, the Glacial Prison comes out. Jobert's going to root Creativity Yoke, but Creativity Yoke is too tanky, and Jobert's going to have to leave this one.
Yeah, good run by Joe Barrow to pick up a return kill, but it just felt like a little bit late on the Stand United. We're seeing in the chat they didn't call for it earlier on, so maybe just a little bit of poor communication around the Shen pick early on, and it's kind of weird because Siren has gone up there to gank for the Shen in this situation, especially when there's an Infernal Dragon on the map. Normally what you want to see is playing around the bot side of the map and you rotate your Shen down, get a kill or two, take the dragon, and start to snowball that way. But if you're playing toward the Shen, it opens up a lot of counterplay for your opponents to go ahead and make dives in bot lane and make plays there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Heimel still has a TP advantage, so they still have that opportunity to play towards the bot side if they wish, but it doesn't look like Team 63 Backslash is looking to do that at all. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Lord Zoten's getting engaged on by Siren, but he is going to get chunked out. We'll see if the hook lands right here. Jobera goes in on Lord Zoten. He's going to go golden. I hope Big Daddy's going to go ahead and try to flash and stun Jobera, but he's already out of this one.
Yeah, really good stopwatch by Lord Zoten to help save him from the LeBlanc combo, and Jobero, knowing his limit there, going ahead and popping back out before he gets stunned up by the Pyke and the Sejuani who are on the roam. This is going to open up a tower turret plate or two.
Oh my goodness, Vid is chunked out. He might almost go down. He's going to get hooked right in the Marco Flava, who's now 5-0 on this Caitlyn. We'll see if Seaguard's Funky Mama is going to get hooked by El Big Daddy. He's looking for the hook. The hook is almost there, but he's going to use that dash and get away. Siren is in the area. He's looking for the counter engage, but he's not going to find it.
Yeah, El Big Daddy, I think, held that hook just a little bit too long. He should have known approximately the cooldown on that Ezreal E. It came right back up, and he was able to dodge the hook because of the hold. But that is going to open up the Infernal Dragon potentially for Get Money Boys.
Yeah, now that Seaguar's Funky Mama is looking the back here, they do start up the Infernal Drake. And we'll see if Team 63 Backslash decides to contest here. We're moving into the area. He's going to go ahead and get rooted up by that Caitlyn trap. But Creativity Yoke has the dragon really low. He has the smite available, but they decide to back off of this one. Jobero is here. Jobero is doing a lot of damage, and he's going to try to get this one, but Siren picks up the dragon. Meanwhile, Big Daddy is on the front line. He's going to go ahead and miss his ultimate and go down. But now the Riot of the Arcane comes out trying to chunk out anyone. But meanwhile, in the top lane, Emery3 takes another bad trade with I'm Heimel.
So Heimel, I think, was trying to teleport there, and Emery's dove in to stop the channel. That might have been an even bigger collapse from 63 Backslash had that not happened. Just judging by I didn't see the teleport, I'm just judging by the cooldown. It might be wrong.
No, he used to teleport to get back to lane, actually.
Oh, okay.
And then Stand United was on cooldown.
Well, then never mind. It was still kind of an interesting decision to peel off of the dragon at like 1300 health from Creativity Yoke. It feels like if you're going to go down in that situation anyway, you kind of sacrifice yourself for an Infernal Drake.
Yeah, it is very interesting, but they saw Jobero coming in for the collapse, and they decided to back off of that one, opting to, you know, back off of the fight, save the bounty on that 6-0 Caitlyn, and try to, you know, get out with as much as possible, although they do lose the Infernal Drake.
Yeah, that represents a way back into the game, because right now it's been Get Money Boys that have been the aggressors, the one making the plays in this game. But now if you're starting to stack Infernal Drakes, you can maybe loop in another one or two. 63 Backslash has that late game scaling option, even with an Ezreal LeBlanc.
Yeah, and Creativity Yoke shows in the top side of the map, but Siren is also pathing towards the top side. We'll see if either team decides to go for this Rift Herald. Typically, you'll see teams go for Rift Herald before 15 minutes now. Oh, he predicts the flash, and Vid gets hooked back in, and Ace in the Hole is going to come out, is going to take him down.
I don't think he predicted the flash so much as was trying to hook Seegers and accidentally hit Vid, but it's going to work out either way for Get Money Boys.
Yeah, and we see 2v2 in the top lane. Creativity Yoke engages on this one. Heimel is the target for now. He's going to land a double taunt, but Creativity Yoke is going low. Siren's going to land the parallel convergence, going to get out of this one. The Stand United comes down onto Siren, and Emery3 is running for his life. Jobera has joined the fray. Emery3 trying to take one with him. He's going to take down Siren, but Heimel lands a taunt, and Emery3 is going to go down. And meanwhile, in the bot lane, Seaguar's Funky Mama is going to get hooked up by El Big Daddy.
There's just so much crap you have to dodge between Caitlyn and Pyke and Xerath. I don't envy Seeker's Funky Mama trying to dodge all of that anyway, especially without his support there, so...
It's just so hard for him because Ezreal is honestly the best pick there. He's the only ADC where you can just naturally dodge all that stuff, but again, he only has one dash. He can only dodge so much.
Yeah, now we're going to reset briefly, so let's take just a little bit of stock of what's going on in this game. It's a 2,500 gold lead for Get Money Boys. Small lead in kills, but we have the Infernal Dragon for 63 Backslash. You have a pretty big LeBlanc, you have a pretty big Shen, you have a pretty big Echo, but the bot side of your map isn't doing so well for 63. Meanwhile, it's exactly reversed. You have a 7-0 Caitlyn you're going to try to play around now if you Get Money Boys.
Yeah, it's very interesting because in the past weeks, we've seen the top side of the map for Get Money Boys do so well. So it's very interesting that they're deciding to play around the bot lane here in preparation for this match against Team 63 Backslash. And it has paid off. Now Marco Flavo 7-0 on this Caitlyn. They've rotated him up to the top side to grab this Rift Herald and secure it for the team.
Yeah, something I did want to point out, Emery's has gone for the Spear of Shojin first on Renekton, which is relatively standard, but in a tank matchup and one where you're looking to try to split push, I feel like you just need the Black Cleaver first to try to chunk through some of the armor that Heimel's building up.
Yeah, even in the past, Emery3 against any tank, he just builds the Spear of Shojin first, so I'm sure it's just, you know, his preference, but I definitely agree that the Black Cleaver is the better option there. But Jobera is going to get chunked out here. One more for the right of the Arcane, but he's going to escape this one. The Rift Herald goes down on the top side, and Shelly's going to get another charge on that inner turret.
Yeah, that was such a good stun by Lord Zoten. It saved his life, even with Jobero coming over the wall at him. And then I think he picked the wrong one. He picked the clone to try to ult with the Red of the Arcane. Happens to everybody, pretty much. That champ's just, you know, very frustrating to try to track down.
Yeah, and now Heimel might get hooked up here. We'll see. El Big Daddy's going to miss the hook, but Cyrene might get the stun. El Big Daddy's going to try to dash out of this one, and Team 623 backslash is not going to find anything.
So maybe this is bad as the quote-unquote analyst, but who do you actually favor in a big 5v5 team fight here?
In a big 5v5 team fight at this point in the game, takes Team 623 backslash, honestly, has the ability to take this one with the damage from Jobero. Oh, and look at that! Sagar's Funky Mama is going to take that one down in a blink. Yeah,
the LeBlanc burst, I think, caught him by surprise, plus the detonation of the W from Ezreal, and El Big Daddy is El gone.
Yeah, but the problem for these 5v5 team fights is if they don't catch Jobero immediately with that, you know, that CC, then he's going to be able to burst down Marco Flavo. And Marco Flavo isn't going to be outputting as much damage in these team fights as he could because there's two assassins on the other team with the assistance of the Stand United. But on the other hand, if Team 63 backslash doesn't get onto Marco Flavo, he's 7-0 on this Caitlyn. He has the Essence Reaver and the IE right now, and if you don't get on him, he's just gonna take over these team fights 1v9. And Sierra's Monkey Mom's going to dash in, take an ace right in the face, and El Big Daddy's gonna land a beautiful hook, and Marco Flavo's gonna take that one.
Yeah, now that'll open up the map for Get Money Boys to try to siege in this mid tower, which is really what they want to do anyway with the Caitlyn and Xerath picks. Both of those champions require just a little bit of time to, and they like to have things set up in front of them. If you get the big collapse with the Echo and the LeBlanc, you can catch them off guard. But if they're set up, if you get that trap line going, it's really frustrating.
Jobero catches Marco Flavo here. He doesn't know he's on a ward, and he's gonna get the shutdown. That's absolutely huge for Team 623 backslash.
Yeah, that's a 700 gold shutdown in addition to that 300 gold for the kill. So $1,000 right in Jobero's pocket for that one.
And Jobero is the member of the team that we're looking at for Team 623 backslash to be able to get back into this game. At this point, they're only about 1.5k gold down now, and they're slowly getting back into this one. And Cyrane's going to get hooked up. He's going to use the ultimate and try and get out of this one, but he's going to get almost stunned. But Creativity Yoke is going to stun up Vid instead. Jobero is in the fight now. Creativity Yoke is on the wrong side of this one, and Seagar's Funky Mom's going to pick that one up.
Yeah, I'm not sure Get Money Boy's even pushing in at all with Caitlyn dead. Just feels like not the right play for them, and it's good from 63 backslash. They're able to collapse. They burn a couple of ultimates to try to chunk through the Sejuani, but a successful pick. It's going to continue to delay the game, get that gold lead just a little bit closer for 63 backslash.
Yeah, but El Big Daddy is on the chase now. The Ride of the Arcane comes out. El Big Daddy looking for the hook, and he's going to not find anybody. The Ride of the Arcane will not take anybody down as well.
Yeah, I wonder how close Vid was to that threshold, if he just needed one more shot from that Ezreal ult before the Pike execute would come through. And he might have been able to chain 2 or 3 of them together with everybody clustered.
Yeah, and Cyrane's gonna have to flash away from that one. He finds Emery's 3 on his Krugs camp, but Jobero's in the area. He's going to take down El Big Daddy, but Seagar's Funky Mom's gonna pick that one up. And now both teams are posturing around the Baron. I'm curious to see if it's going to be taken anytime soon, but it looks like Team 63 backslash is gonna take a reset here.
Yeah, and Seagar's Funky Mama right back in the game now, 3-6, has his Mara Muna plus the Iceborne Gauntlet finished up, so he'll be outputting a reasonable amount of damage as well on this Ezreal, and it's good to see that he's come back from a really difficult start to the game.
Yeah, it has been a really difficult start, but he is starting to get back into this one. He's now 150 gold bounty. He's still down in CS, he's still down in items, but he's on his way back into the game, and he's being spoon-fed some of these kills and these fights from Jobero, and it's looking really nice for him. So now we see Team 63 backslash posturing over towards the Baron, looking for that vision control, but we see Marco Flavo in the area in the mid lane with Lord Zoten, and that means that they're looking for that mid priority right now. Both teams trying to poke the other one out, but Jobero goes in. He's going to get rooted up, but that's just his clone. Got me too. But now, right, the Arcane comes out, trying to chunk out Jobero, but Cyrane is in this back of the fight. He's going to use his ultimate to try and get out of this one, and he will. I'm Heimel on the chase, but he's not going to find anyone right now. Lord Zoden is going to be forced to back.
Yeah, and this is just 4 players from Get Money Boys. Emery's has just been down in the bottom lane clearing out that wave for the time being. So it's the 5 group from 63 backslash, and Emery's just kind of holding the fort on the bottom side, now finally starting to group up. The ARAM kind of has begun.
Yeah, but usually in the past, we'll see Get Money Boys commit to that split push, you know, commit to having Emery's on the side lane just because he's always put on these really strong split pushers, and that has been their main objective. But this game, they aren't really doing that. They're allowing themselves to get caught in the mid lane, or maybe Team 63 backslash is doing an excellent job forcing onto them, but they're not letting Emery's 3 do his job and just, you know, put that pressure in the side lane without anybody matching him.
Yeah, and it also feels like Marco Flavo hasn't really been able to get set up with a trap line and get comfortable just standing there doing the DPS. And that's been really nicely done by 63, kind of forcing these really split, spread out, chaotic fights. It hasn't let those kind of very stationary front to back champions get set up and start wailing on them.
Yeah, but the Cloud Dragon has been started up. It looks like Team 633 backslash do not want this one, but the mid priority goes over to GMB, who's starting to rotate over to the Cloud Dragon. They don't know Siren and Vit are in this bush, but they're going to find them pretty soon. Big Daddy's gonna dash away from this one. He doesn't know if there's more, but meanwhile on the top side, Emery's 3 and I'm Heimel are there. I'm Heimel does have the Stand United to be able to join the fight, and Emery's has the TP, but they're going ahead and duel this one. Meanwhile, on the bot side of the map, the Dragon is picked up by GMB. The stun goes on to Jobert, and he might be taken down. CR's Funky Mama goes in really aggressively. He's gonna find the shutdown on the Marco Flavo. Creativity Yo going low now. Siren and Seagar are on the chase, and that's gonna be a triple kill for Seagar's Funky Mama.
Yeah, what a play by Seeger's Funky Mama. Jobera goes in, gets the big chunk, but Seeger's uses that arcane shift in to pick up one, then starts laying down the DPS, able to clean up that triple kill. Really nicely done by the Ezreal.
Yeah, and CR's Funky Mama playing so aggressively on this Ezreal. He's just so confident on this pick that he's able to jump forward knowing that he won't get taken down, and he maximizes his DPS in the fight very well.
Yeah, and it feels like while his DPS has been catching up, Caitlyn's is kind of plateaued. She went for the Infinity Edge followed by the Essence Reaver. Didn't get that extra crit to stack in. Actually,
Heimel might get caught here. He's gonna throw down the sword. He's gonna get out of this one, but they're forced off the Baron.
Yeah, luckily the Spirit's Refuge able to keep him safe from Emery's, although that might not be it as El Big Daddy comes in.
Yeah, El Big Daddy going in, but he's gonna get chunked out. So he goes Funky Mama, uses the arcane shift to jump forward. Emery's 3 goes in, he's gonna get conjured up, and Heimel flashes onto him, and Siren's gonna pick that one up. But meanwhile, Sagar's Funky Mama is gonna pick up the kill on the El Big Daddy.
Yeah, the True Shot Barrage just comes in over the top, cleans him up, and the 2-man squad of El Big Daddy and Emrys not able to find the critical damage on anybody and start really tipping that fight in their favor. Really nicely played by 63 backslash there.
Yeah, now 63 backslash has the control of the game. They finally have the gold lead, but Creativity Yoke looks to go on Siren here. There's no backup for him, and Siren's just gonna go ahead and dip out of this one.
So now this is a tough point for Get Money Boys, as you have a team comp that's designed to play from ahead, basically. You have the Siege with the Xerath and Caitlyn, and we haven't seen them be able to push down towers to get any of that really critical structure damage that they've needed to. And now they're on the back foot, and when you're on the back foot against an assassin team, all of a sudden individual members start getting picked off, and the game starts tipping away from you.
Yeah, and the game is quickly tipping away from them. They're starting to lose that wave clear in the mid lane that they really need, and it's getting really difficult for them. The Baron is up, and they don't have very much vision in the area. It's going to be really difficult for them to contest this Baron once Team 63 backslash decides that the time is now.
But Siege coming on now from 63 backslash. They don't have a huge amount of like readily accessible tower damage. It's basically just the Ezreal W into an auto attack, If they can land that on the tower, though, that should burst it out.
Yeah, and they
Or
do
the phase dive, that
finally,
works
yeah, they're just gonna go ahead and go onto the tower. They finally picked that mid-outer turret up for themselves, but Creativity Yoke goes in. He finds Seaguar's Funky Mama, but the Twilight Soul's gonna come down. Meanwhile, Emery's 3 on the backside of the fight is going to get taken down. Marco Flavo's not going to find very much, but he still does so much damage. The ace in the hole comes out, but Vid's gonna tank that one up, but that's going to be a 3-for-1 in favor of Team 633 /.
Yeah, they thought they had the fight that they wanted, but they're not able to burst out Seeker's Funky Mama in the duration of that Sejuani ultimate, not able to find the extra CC to layer onto it, and Seeker's Funky Mama escapes, and the rest of the team is able to turn the fight.
Yeah, and now Team 633 / decides to take a reset. They took the mid-outer turret and they decide that that is enough. Meanwhile, eyes are on the Baron. They have so much vision control in the area, and Lord Zone and Marco Flava are going to have to take a reset fairly soon. We'll see if Team 633 / decides to capitalize on this right now. The answer is no, by the way. They're going to go ahead and farm up these waves and these jungle camps. They have a huge wave crashing into the bot lane. They should probably send someone down there fairly soon. They're going to send Jobero back, and he's going to pick that one up. But he does not have TP, and that means as soon as he's spotted in the bot side of the map, then GMB could decide to force the Baron. You know, Jobero, if he's in the bot side, then that means he's not going to be able to join the Baron fight very quickly, and that could be a very successful Baron attempt for GMB.
Yeah, Emrys and Heimel both sitting on their teleports and both still kind of grouped up with their teams. It's been kind of frustrating to see them play with the globals and not really make
Glacial Prison goes wide.
Yeah, not able to land that one onto Siren, and that's the big engagement tool for GMB, although
but the Ride of the Arcade's gonna chunk him out, and the Ace and Hole is gonna pick that one up. Meanwhile, they rotate down towards the Infernal Dragon. Vid is here. He's gonna get stunned up by Creativity Yoke pretty darn soon, but he's gonna dash away from this one. Jobero's gonna get stunned up and is going to be forced out of this Infernal Dragon, and it looks like GMB is gonna start this one up.
Yeah, and that was 63 / not really respecting Get Money Boys' vision. There was actually a ward in that bush that Vid had stopped in, and a ward over the wall that spotted Jobero popping down into the banana bush, and that means that Get Money Boys can chunk out. Well, first they get the pick on Seekers, just throwing kind of generic amounts of damage at him, which feels pretty good. And then, yeah, just using vision to get some chunks onto some key members, and that means that they'll be able to roll toward this Baron now.
Yeah, and it feels really good for GMB that the momentum is back on their side. They know that they have the damage to be able to take anyone out that they need to, and the CC. Creativity Yoke goes on the Siren. He's going to have to use his ultimate to get away from this one, but they're just forcing Team 633 / off of this Baron. Although they don't have the vision control to start the Baron quite yet, they could pick someone off, and Vid's gonna almost get picked off himself.
Yeah, and this has been basically nothing invested by GMB. They just kind of went and camped that bush, used some basic abilities, and it's going to force the ult out of Siren, as well as force Heimel to go back to base. He does have the ability to rejoin with the teleport or the Stand United, but it's still small victories that they're able to get, and maybe find the pressure that they actually need to crack open this Baron.
Yeah, and now the game feels so even. Team 633 / off of a big pick onto them is forced off of this Baron. All the vision control that they once had is starting to be taken away by GMB, but they're moving back in the area and reinforcing that vision once more.
Yeah, now they're just going to muscle in. Lord Zoten is split. He has teleport available. Emrys is kind of split. He also has teleport available. So it's going to be not really a 1-3-1 setup, but kind of a 1-3-1 setup from Get Money Boys. And there's nobody set to answer there on the bottom side, but they're going to start up Baron, our 63 /.
Yeah, and Creativity Yoke is not in the area. He's on his way, though. We'll see if they're able to contest this one. Lord Zone's so far away. He's going to channel the TP, and now Vid is hooked in, and they're going to decide to back off this one. Jobero with a huge chunk onto the back line. the Ezreal ultimate's gonna chunk them out even more, but not enough. The Rite of the Arcane comes out, but he's gonna get rooted up. Jobero's clone is gonna get taken down, but nobody is going down quite yet. Creativity Yoke is on the wrong side here. Vid's looking to catch him out, but not going to land anything quite yet. Jobero and Siren are forced to back here, and it's a successful Baron defense from GMB.
Yeah, if they'd have known that Creativity Yoke wasn't there, they could burst down that Baron and get out of there. Everybody's so mobile, can get over that wall if they need to. And I don't want to say it's a misplay. It was just a lack of information that we have that 63 backslash didn't. And now, again, Money Boys is going to start up the Baron, and this feels pretty risky. Again, all 5 members of 63 backslash can just pop over the wall pretty much at any point that they want to.
Yeah, and it feels pretty bad for GMB that they didn't even know that the ward was there. As soon as they started the Baron, then Team 63 backslash was in the area ready to contest. And it's going to be so hard for GMB to be able to start up this Baron without getting a pick. They're just trying to muscle their way into this, kind of like Team 63 backslash has tried to do, but they just don't have the composition to do it. But now the Baron has finally been started up once again by Team 63 backslash.
Yeah, this one was just an awkwardly timed reset from GMB. They send everybody back. Jobero goes in!
But Jobero's going to take out Lord Zone. The Rite of the Arcane going to be channeled and immobilize him. But Emery 3 is on the backside now, trying to take down Siren before the Baron goes down. But Siren's going to take him down instead. El Big Daddy's on the side. Jobero might get caught up here, but he's going to dash away. Vid and is going to start up the Baron once more, and that's going to be the Baron secure for Team 63 backslash as Jobero is going to get chased down. Marco Flavo is going to get flashed on. He's going to get taken down absolutely. The Glacial Prison goes down and secures the kill onto Jobero. Siren's gonna go in. He's gonna dash in and find the kill onto El Big Daddy. Creativity Yoke is the last one there for his team. He's gonna try to get out of this one, and he's gonna be successful jumping back into the base into his safety.
Jobero, the big hero, jumps in over the wall into the Rite of the Arcaning Zoten and just deletes him from the map, and that empowers them to be able to finish off the Baron. I was a little bit worried once Emery's dived in. Siren actually smited him during that fight, and I was a little bit worried that that might open up the door for Creativity Yoke, but they do a good job of basically using Jobero as bait to draw everybody away from the Baron. They finish it off, they get a couple of kills in the process, and 63 backslash now firmly in control.
Yeah, and now Team 63 backslash with that Baron, with the Dragon spawning soon, might just look to end the game. This is an Elder Dragon. They do have position on it, but this is exactly what GMB needs to get back into this game. A really big team fight where they're able to burst someone down with all that damage that they have, and they need to be able to play this front to back. But the problem is with Team 63 backslash's team comp, it's really hard for them to find that front to back team fight that they need.
Yeah, it's just everybody is so mobile from on Team 63, and that makes it so hard for Caitlyn to try to just sit there and do DPS. You have to avoid Caitlyn coming in, Echo coming in. Even Ezreal can go aggressive with his arcane shift, and it's no fun to be Caitlyn in this game right now.
Yeah, and all the vision is getting cleared out by Team 633 backslash, and they're just poking them out with Seagar's Funky Mama. You know, his Qs just do so much damage at this point in the game, and they decide to start the Elder Dragon. The vision isn't there for GMB, and they don't know. They're not going to contest this one very soon. It's going down. Now 5k health on the Dragon.
Now
and
they have vision?
Yeah, now they have vision. Creativity Yoke looking for the steal, but he's not going to find it. He's going to throw down the Glacial Prison, but get stunned up and taken down. Meanwhile, Siren goes godlike, and the Baron and Elder Push is on the hunt.
Yeah, the smite took it to 31 health from Siren, but Creativity Yoke didn't have that next bit of damage to take it away, and instead it'll go over to 63 backslash.
Yeah, now 63 backslash has the Elder Dragon. They have the Baron, and now they're looking for the base of GMB. And you have to ask yourself, where did this game go wrong for GMB? They were doing so well in the early game. They had a 7-0 Caitlyn. How come they weren't able to close this one out?
A lot of it was just Jobero able to get his farm on. He started making the plays that enabled 63 backslash to come back, and Seeker's Funky Mama I don't know if you've seen the gif of the dog that's just like walking on his front feet and then kind of slowly realizes that he's got 4 feet, gets back up and starts
Yeah.
walking. That was Seeger's Funky Mama in this game. Just kind of realized that he had 4 legs, he can do this, he's a big boy.
Yes, Seeger's Monkey Mama is quite the big boy in this game, and now scaling up really nicely, finally picking up that Hex Shrinker and that last Whisper, going to be able to chunk through, Creativity Yoke and Emery's really well. And now that Emery's is in the side lane once more, that's the only possible win condition that GMB could have at this point in the game. It's clear that they can't win these 5v5 team fights. They just haven't been able to take one that's been in their favor. But again, it's all been so scattered for them. Maybe they can find just one organized team fight, but the Renekton in the side lane is doing really well for them. It's done so well for them in the past, and I'm surprised that they haven't been trying to play through that this game.
Yeah, also did want to shout out Marco Flavo for the casual Flame Horizon in the bot lane. He's getting his farm on. It's just he's not able to output the damage in these team fights. I think mostly due to the champion picks. He doesn't have a whole lot of support around him that's going to enable him to stand there and auto attack, and that's where Caitlyn's set up, but is doing a great job mowing down the minions. So shout out for that. Flame Horizon, pretty cool.
Yeah, it's so hard not having that traditional support, but instead the Pyke in the support role, where you're not really receiving that peel. Pyke is playing more like an assassin than he is, like a support for you. But now Siren's gonna get rooted up. He's gonna get stunned now by El Big Daddy. But in these fights, it's so hard for Marco Flavo to be able to output this damage without any peel. And it looks like, the engaged tanks, the Emery's 3 and Creative Yoke on the Renekton and Sejuani are playing frontline, but it's not enough to be able to stop these assassin picks from getting onto Marco Flavo.
Yeah, and Creativity Yoke on there was trying to come in for the engagement. They had a 4v3 numbers advantage, but Joe Barrow finds him in the jungle and actually chunks him out to about a quarter. And that means that they can't even look for the engagement. They just have to give up that tower and get out.
Yeah, and Creativity Yoke going for this kind of old school build on the Sejuani here, going for the Adaptive Helm and the Knight's Vow. What do you make of this, Maris?
It's not as optimal as I think it could be. I like the Adaptive Helm in theory. I don't know that you're getting a huge amount of value out of it onto Echo and LeBlanc as your kind of AP threats. I would definitely prefer to see the more traditional at this point Warmogs, but it's a build. It's items. It's relatively effective.
Yeah, it's just not making him as tanky as he could be in these team fights, and that's the thing. He's really the only big tank in these team fights, and he's getting bursted through so quickly. Just with that suboptimal build, it's really difficult for him to be able to, soak up all the damage that he could be doing.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested. He's going for Gargoyle Stoneplate next, which is usually the item that you pair with health. You pair it with the Warmogs so that you get the most effective resistances and everything out of it. And instead it's, going with this Adaptive Helm feels like not the right item again in this third slot, although Emrys is in trouble. Maybe?
Yeah, Emrys is in trouble, but Siren's going to go ahead and get out of this one. And a flash is burned from Siren, but now the Baron is up. Team 633 / has the vision control once again, and we'll see if GMB is able to contest this one. They're now almost 10k gold down, and it's going to be so hard for them without finding that key pick that they need.
Yeah, they really just need to start it off with a pick. They need to find Seeger's Funky Mama or Joe Barrow being a little bit too aggressive. I think that that's the only way that they can conceivably look for a fight and somehow protect Marco Flavo. Whether that's not engaging with Creativity Yoke and using the ult to peel for him, something has to change, and that's not it.
Yeah, and Joe Barrow finds Marco Flavo. He's going to go golden and try to dodge the Sprite of the Arcane. He's going to find 3 dodges, but not going to dodge the last one. And one more is going to take him down, and that's the pick that they needed. Seagar's Funky Mama now caught in the front line. He's going to get stunned up and taken down, and the Baron is on the eyes of GMB. They find 2 critical picks of the enemy team, but now they're pushing forward onto this next tower. They're not going to find the hook, but they have the pressure that they need to knock down this tower. The inner tower goes down, and now they're looking for the inhibitor turret.
Yeah, I love this decision to go for towers, although Siren finds a big stun.
Yeah, there's a big taunt onto the back line, but now Heimel's going to pick up one. Every3 going very low. He's about to get stunned up, but Vid is going to almost get taken down. The Stand United comes out. The taunt comes on to Marco Flavo, but he's not going to have enough damage to take him down. Lord Zone finds another one, and that's 3 down now for Team 63 backslash.
I love the call to go for towers. That was a great fight. That's about as good as you can hope for from 63 backslash. But now GMB has the Baron in their sights, and they can maybe turn this game around if they can secure this.
Yeah, and now the Baron is here. They have the vision on it.
He has no smite.
He has no smite, and Siren is on his way. But Emery's is trying to back right now. He's gonna
They're not
find
doing this
Siren,
fast enough.
but they're gonna try to do it.
Siren steals it.
Coming out for Team 63 backslash.
What did we just watch? Why? I don't know. That's the play from Siren, though. That's going to make sure that it doesn't flip back. Now all of the momentum's back for Team 63. They can go for the Infernal Dragon. That's the second one. And they are, if they can't close the game out with those 2 buffs, I don't know anymore.
Yeah, now the major objectives are going to Team 63 backslash once again. We thought that GMB had it. They found the key picks that they needed onto Jobero and Seagar's Funky Mama, but then they tried the Baron without the smite, and you cannot do that. Siren comes in and picks that one up so easily, and the Baron and the Elder Dragon now go over to the Team 63 backslash, who's pushing in the bot side of the map.
Yeah, and it's second Elder. That's so much burn damage that they're going to be putting on. It's extra AD and AP on top of everything. This is the moment for GMB. If they need the absolute perfect fight in order to stay in this game.
Yeah, and honestly, not what they needed. El Big Daddy gets caught up on a ward, and Jobero is going to take him down. Siren now diving onto the backside. He has his ultimate, however, to try to get out of this one, but now it's a 5v4. It's going to be so hard for GMB. They're getting chunked out of this one. They're going to get engaged on pretty darn soon. Lord Zone on the backside, but now Seagar's Funky Mama dashes forward, going to force him away, and now they look onto the Nexus turrets. Marco Flavo going to get taken down by Jobero. Taunt comes out. Now Creative Yoke is the next target, but they're going to now look for the Nexus turrets. The double buffs are too much, and they're looking to take the game.
Yeah, the amount of damage that this phase dive plus Lichbane does from Siren, he's just chunking through the turrets. He used the turret chunk in order to engage in the bottom lane, and that'll be it as Team 63 backslash improves to 2-1 on the season.
Yeah, and Team 63 backslash with an incredible performance. They do an excellent job of that vision control. You know, it's so hard for GMB to be able to get onto the Baron, even with all the wave clear that they have, because of Team 63 backslash playing so well as a team.
Yeah, and that was a really important win. Those teams were level going into the game. Now improving to 2-1 for 63 backslash gives them that game advantage on GMB, and that could be critical as we head later on in the season.
Yeah, and now we put Team 63 backslash at 2-1 and GMB at 1-2. And in the playoffs race, with both of these teams looking like, like playoffs contenders at least, it's really hard for them, especially for GMB to take a loss against, like an equal opponent like this, as you've been saying. But
yeah, that was a wild game.
Yeah, that was a wild game. We saw, teams just go back and forth. But we're going to go into our second game the day after a quick break, and that's going to be the Golden Crabs versus Kaiju game. Hello and welcome back to GRLCS Fall Split 2019 Gold Division Week 3. In our first game of the day, we saw Team 623 Backslash take down... I'm blanking right now. Who'd they take down, Maris?
Get Money Boys.
Yeah, they took down GMB in a very exciting fashion. They got both of the double buffs in the late game, and they just absolutely took it down from there. But now we're going to move into our second game of the day, which is going to be Kaiju Gaming versus totally blanking again. One sec. Versus the Golden Crabs. Yeah, let's get right into it. So on the blue side, we have Kaiju Gaming, and the top lane is going to be It's Fox on Gnar. In the jungle, we have Godzilla on Mordekaiser. In the mid lane, we have Tiltproof on Silas. In the bot lane, we have January and CRXN on Kaisa and Janna.
And on the top side of the map, wearing the red health bars this game will be the Golden Crabs. In the top lane, SP Pillars on Ornn, Baker Mayfield number 6 on Evelyn in the jungle, Worgen Knight playing Nico mid, and Asian Cactus subbing in at AD carry playing Quinn with Paladin his support on Morgana.
Yeah, and it's going to be very interesting because Paladin is typically, he plays ADC for this team, so it's going to be interesting seeing him in the support role. We'll see if, those mechanics transfer over. It is just bot lane, but it is a little bit different ADC support.
Yeah, being responsible for your team's vision control and really setting the tempo in the lane can be a little bit of a challenge for some AD carry players. But we'll see how Paladin transitions, and Asian Cactus coming in as the sub, picking Electrocute Quinn bot lane, because why not? I'm excited to see how that stacks up against the Kaisa Janna lane.
Yeah, and I'm super excited too because January has been the key player for this team. He's been absolutely massive on both of the games, and that's why Kaiju right now is honestly 2-0 in my opinion.
Yeah, looking to stay undefeated in this game, and this is a good challenge with Golden Crabs also 1-1, so two top of the table teams going at it, and yeah, I'm pretty excited. January has been a 1v9 player in the past couple of splits, and we'll see if he can continue a good performance here, getting the Kaisa to enable him a little bit late game.
Yeah, and the Kaisa with that Janna buffing him, putting that shield on the Kaisa before she goes in, and then with the shield already from what's the Kaisa ultimate? I'll find out real quick. From the Killer Instinct. Yes. It's just a huge shield that's going to make it really hard for him to burst down, and he's going to be able to play more aggressively than he would have without the Janna shield.
Yeah, and I'm kind of curious. It's well, there's a trade in the bottom lane, so I might not get to talk about it. I guess they're just going to bully him. They hit level 2. With this team comp that Kaiju Gaming has with the Gnar, with the Mordekaiser, it's kind of interesting because Mordekaiser just takes somebody out of the game, and then you have Gnar who has that game-breaking CC, but only intermittently. It's a lot of timings that they're going to have to play around really well in order to make their team fight work. Whereas I feel like it's a little bit more straightforward. You just start with the Ornn Horn, then try to assassinate somebody if you're Golden Crabs.
Yeah, it is definitely an easier comp to execute from the Golden Crabs, but if the side of Kaiju Gaming is able to, to execute their team fight, then I think it'll be super easy for them to win this game. Now Tiltproof goes into a trade as soon as he hits level 4, and with that Silas able to steal the Evelyn ult, the Nico ultimate, even the Morgana ultimate, it's going to make these team fights a lot easier for the side of Kaiju Gaming.
Yeah, honestly, even I don't know that there's really a bad ult, although Pillars is taking a lot of damage in that top lane. And
yeah,
that's
Pillars
kind of
almost goes down, but now the flash forward from Paladin's going to land the brute onto January, who's going to get taken down for first blood.
Yeah, Asian Cactus is going to benefit from that, and if there's one thing about Quinn that I know, it's that she snowballs really hard, so we'll have to keep an eye on Asian Cactus now.
Yeah, and Baker Mayfield doing an excellent job of pathing down towards that bot side to enable his bot lane, especially with the Quinn pick, as you said. One of those picks that needs to snowball to be relevant in the game, and he's already started that snowball right here.
Yeah, the Evelyn and the Quinn both need a good strong early game in order to stay relevant throughout, and now Godzilla's here in the top lane, gonna get the flash out of Pillars. Nice little play there, getting the summoner spell out. But I wanted to say it'd be pretty fun to watch Tiltproof just take the Quinn ultimate and go side lane and just like fly back into the fight when he's needed. I think it'd be entertaining, not necessarily good, but pretty fun.
Yeah, it would be entertaining, not necessarily good, because the side of the Golden Crabs doesn't really have the wave clear that they need to be able to, you know, allow Quinn the side lane. Maybe if it was a different pick in the top lane, maybe not the Ornn, but something with more wave clear, then they would be able to do that. But without that, it's going to be super hard.
It was a nice little pillar from Mr. Pillar to catch Fox on that hop and make sure he took an extra tower shot. But, yeah, early on, Mordekaiser and Evelynn probably shouldn't be super aggressive junglers. I'm kind of surprised we've seen them each go for a gank each at this point, although Tiltproof finds Worgen Knight.
Yeah,
Gets another flash, so there's a lot of opportunity now if Godzilla wants to get aggressive. Both of the solo laners and Paladin don't have those flashes, and that'll open up opportunities for Mordekaiser.
Yeah, a lot of the opportunities, but now Baker Mayfield found his opportunity, flashes in onto its Fox, who's going to get charmed up and taken down.
Yeah, the Bellows Breath, just enough damage, plus that extra auto from Baker Mayfield. He has to burn the flash, but he'll be pretty happy with that one. 1-0-1 on the Evelynn's a good start.
Yeah, that is an excellent start. He is a little bit behind in terms of, you know, jungle farm, but, you know, that's okay because he has a kill and an assist over Godzilla's 0-0-0 scoreline.
And Asian Cactus has the serrated Dirk early on, so he's going to be going for at least one lethality item first. I'll be kind of curious. I've seen like Yumu's Ghostblade first. I've also seen some crit builds out of Quinn's, so it'll be really interesting to see how he rounds out that build and how he's able to use those items effectively against this team.
Yeah, and I'd like to see the Yumu's Ghostblade just because, you know, to give Quinn so much extra speed, and, you know, that's what she excels at, you know, speeding around the map. So if they want to use Quinn in that way, then the Yumu's would be excellent. But otherwise, maybe, I don't know, like a Duskblade or something? That'd be interesting to see. Maybe even like Edge of Night.
Yeah, Edge of Night would be a kind of underrated defensive item, especially if you pop it early. It means that you can't be taken into the Mordekaiser ult, at least as the very first thing that hits you, which could really lock down some possibilities for Godzilla later on. I don't think we'll see the Edge of Night by any means, but it'd be an interesting item for sure.
Yeah, both top laners trading really aggressively in the here, and its Fox decides to use the Gnar ultimate to knock Pillars back to his tower, but that is one tanky Ornn, not going to be able to take him down so early in the game.
Yeah, already has the Bomby Cinder as well, so he's got a little bit of additional wave clear plus his Velos Breath, so he'll be feeling relatively comfortable even in the Gnar lane that can be super annoying. And there's the Ornhorn coming out, just gonna force the flash out of Tiltproof though.
Yeah, Tiltproof does have the Nico ultimate, but he has no assistance from his team right now. Godzilla is deciding to play towards the bot side of the map. The root's going to land on the Paladin. There's the flash forward, and now we see Godzilla on the hunt. He picks up a kill on the Asian Cactus, and that's going to be a 1-for-1 in the bot lane.
Yeah, he actually pulled in Asian Cactus and Paladin, which might have cost CRXN his life as they got in range for that auto attack to actually secure the kill on him, but still a nice gank. It's going to continue the pressure for January, and it's going to further extend his CS lead potentially, or get him a dragon, whatever they want.
Yeah, and now the dragon has been started up for Kaiju Gaming. They rotate Tiltproof down, and they're just gonna pick this one up without a contest because we see Baker Mayfield in the top side of the map, and now it's Fox looking to get ganked. He does not have flash. He's going to get charmed up right here. We'll see if the CC lands. He's gonna get knocked up, and it's going to be an easy takedown for his team.
Yeah, not even able to get off his hop. Also was pretty close to his transform. Maybe could have just thrown him away and walked away, but not quite in time on either of those, and its Fox goes down. So another good gank timing from Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, and the Crabs trading back excellently. After a play goes down in the bot side of the map, they pick up one in the top side of the map onto its Fox. And although Pillars isn't, you know, who you want to be putting your pressure on, he's feeding those kills over the Baker Mayfield, who does want those kills. Now 2-0 on the Evelynn. He's going to be quite a beast going into this mid game.
Yeah, it has the kind of twofold ability of keeping the Gnar within control. You don't want a Gnar to get out of control because then he can just start like trading auto attacks with an AD carry and winning, and that's pretty disgusting. So yeah, you keep him down, you get your Evelynn fed. It's looking pretty good for Golden Crabs so far. but you still have January. He's on that ticking time bomb. He's on that Kaisa, farming up really nicely, and he's going to make an impact in this game one way or another.
Yeah, January is definitely the player to watch for Kaiju Gaming. He's going to be making these big plays, and being enabled by that Silas, by that Mordekaiser, by that Gnar is going to be really important this game, and you know, just his team enabling him to carry this one. Yeah, but now
so it's going to slow down. Rift Herald's coming up here in just a couple seconds. It looks like Golden Crabs actually have the vision control on that top side. And with that chunk on Tilt Proof, you could maybe call Evelyn up and look for that early Rift Herald to try to get some early plates.
Yeah, now Tiltproof is going to be forced to back pretty soon, and he's going to have to TP back, but that's an important cooldown that's going to be down for Kaiju Gaming, and they're not going to be able to make that TP play in the bot lane to enable January, but now that's going to be a big play on the January. He's going to have to use the Killer Instinct to get away, but now he's looking back in. Asian Cactus going low. That's one more stack. He's going to go in and going to find the kill on the Asian Cactus. Meanwhile, Paladin goes golden. He's going to try to get out of this one, but January goes low. Not going to get taken down because Godzilla is here. He's in the area, and he finds a double kill for January.
And January using all of his cooldowns super well, able to dodge a couple of abilities with the Void Assault, the E, and just able to escape thanks to all of the shields, the Killer Instinct shield plus the Gianna shield. Baker Mayfield's looking for revenge and not going to find it.
Yeah, he's not going to find it, but he's going to be taken into the Shadow Realm, and now Godzilla's going to get charmed up, but he's going to go out Shadow Realm pretty darn soon. Going to get slowed up and shut down.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield overextending just a little bit. He thought he had the damage just to burst out January with the smite and the ult, but it wasn't enough to get him into that execute range that just got buffed. So instead, looks just a little bit foolish. He gets taken into the Mordekaiser ult for his trouble.
Yeah, and you know, Baker Mayfield just biting off a little bit more than he can chew. He saw that January was low and expected to be able to just ult him and get out of that one, but you know, the Shadow Realm was still available for Godzilla, and he pulls him right in and takes him down.
Yeah, that was a good trade by Tilt Proof. I think it's interesting. We haven't seen Worgen Knight be able to be super aggressive into this Silas, even with the Ignite on the Nico. It's been a pretty quiet mid lane overall, and as a result, Worgen Knight just has a small CS advantage. I'd like to see Baker Mayfield make a little bit more of an attempt to get around mid lane. Yeah, as I say that, there he is. But,
yeah, I was just saying that there he is.
There's no Nico there to help follow up or anything, so it's just going to chase him off.
Yeah, go and secure that CS for himself, but it's going to force him off for just a little bit. But Tiltproof booting so much pressure onto this mid lane tower. Each time he just clears the wave so much more quickly than Worgen Knight. And it's really difficult for Worgen Knight to be able to use his CC to, you know, contribute to his team. But definitely later in the mid game and the late game especially, we'll be looking at Worgen Knight to be able to make these big plays with the Nico, to be able to enable, you know, the burst from his team to take down the enemies.
Yeah, and we were curious where the Serrated Dirk was going. It looks like it's going to be the Duskblade first for Asian Cactus, which helps clear out some wards in this bottom side, which is kind of an underrated part of the passive, just able to help black that out and give him a little bit of extra burst damage. Looks like he's going to go right into another Serrated Dirk afterwards because, you know, just buy more longswords. Why not?
Yeah, he might just be going for that full lethality build where he goes, you know, Duskblade, the Yumu's next, and maybe the Edge of Night afterwards, and then, you know, like a Guardian's Angel or something. But I'm curious to see how it works out for him. Worgen Knight is going to get caught up here. The ultimate's going to come down. Godzilla is here. The flash force out from Worgen Knight, but Tiltproof is going to get taken down by Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield there on the counter gank, and it's so hard to track the Evelyn, and she's able to collapse in through the minion wave in the mid lane, and now Godzilla in trouble as he takes Asian Cactus into the ultimate and gets taken down.
Yeah, Asian Cactus knows that he can take down Godzilla. He doesn't have the flash available, and the only thing he has is Shadow Realm, and you do not want to be in there so low with the Quinn roaming up and now picking up the red buff for Asian Cactus.
I've always thought it's interesting. League doesn't like the like double-sided abilities. Like there's a character in Dota, this is kind of a tangent, called Legion Commander, and her ult just forces a person to auto-attack you to death, basically, and you just get into this auto-attack fight, and whoever wins gets an extra attack damage bonus the rest of the game. It'd be kind of fun if whoever kills Mordekaiser in the Shadow Realm got some of Mord's stats afterwards somehow.
Yeah.
They don't like those double-edged swords, but like, feels like it should be. It's fair, right?
Yeah, that
He gets
is
to
only
steal
fair.
he gets to steal your stats. You get to steal his back.
Yeah, but now Tiltproof is in trouble. The Ornhorde comes down, but the charm will land, and now Baker Mayfield finds another one for himself.
Yeah, and now they're starting to play a little bit more around Worgen Knight in that mid lane, and that's opening up some plays where they're able to knock Tiltproof down. If they can start getting some damage on this mid tower, or I guess just continue Evelyn snowballing, it's well worth it.
Yeah, it's really important that they get this Evelyn snowballing because I feel like she's the only one who's going to be able to take down January later in the game, you know, with that burst damage. And if January is left unchecked in these fights, then, you know, just like the previous 2 weeks, then he's going to be this big carry player and take over these fights for his team.
Yeah,
now the TP comes out, hold that thought. Now January getting engaged on SP Pillars is here, but the knockup will be thrown away by that Janna ultimate. Excellent job from CRXN, but now they're looking to turn this one. It's Fox is here. Baker Mayfield on the backside. He has the ultimate available. January is almost within execute range, I believe, but now they see Warg Knight on the side. Now it's Fox looking to transform pretty darn soon, but they're going to try to get out of this one before the charm comes down.
Yeah, and that's really well done by Kaiju Gaming. They were looking for that fight. They were trying to find the angle for it. They knew that Worgen Knight was there by himself. They weren't able to see the Evelyn, but as soon as the Evelyn spotted, they back out. That's really intelligent play by Kaiju Gaming, and it's gonna basically save a big scrap down in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and Baker Mayfield's forced to flash out. He's going to go invisible, but get stunned up. Now he's going to get pulled in. Going to dodge that with his ultimate, and he's going to get out of that one.
A couple of really nice ultimates on both sides recently. The Janna ult in the bottom lane, able to blow away the engage from Ornn, and then just now the Agony's Embrace able to dodge out.
Yeah, and he's just doing such an excellent job on this Evelyn pick. He's so comfortable on it that we can see. And, you know, he is the member we're looking at for the side of the Golden Crabs to be able to carry this one.
I am kind of interested. We still haven't seen either team really put any priority onto that Rift Herald. It's 17 minutes now, so it's getting a little bit late on for that objective, and really nobody's been up on that side of the map to even try to contest or set up vision around it. It's been just largely ignored this game, with everybody kind of funneling toward mid and bottom side.
Yeah, and it's going to be very interesting to see who picks up this Rift Herald, because it's going to accelerate the game so much for whichever team picks it up, you know? If it is Kaiju Gaming, then they're going to be able to take down that mid turret that has received so much pressure from Tiltproof, but he just doesn't have the damage to be able to take that one out, and that's an excellent trade for Worgen Knight.
Yeah, good trade from Worgen Knight. Tiltproof has the pot to help stay at least in lane for now. Plus the extra magic damage shield if he can get that in the right spot, but has to be a little bit careful with these trades that he's taking. It's really opening him up to getting collapsed on by the Evelyn and the Ornn.
Yeah, and once he gets taken so low, it's so easy for Baker Mayfield to just pop in, pop the ultimate and get another kill for himself.
Yeah, and the vision control right now is just super favored for the Golden Crabs, with just able to push in to that dragon pit just a little bit over the wall, and you can see the only ward right now for Kaiju on that bottom half of the map is just in their own tri-bush. And that's actually the mid tower opened up. That's really important as Worgen Knight takes that one down, and that's going to open up the enemy jungle for Evelyn to roam through.
Yeah, and now Tiltproof has to respect Baker Mayfield so much, because Baker Mayfield can just come around, even come around that Raptors camp and find one. But now he's going to get caught by himself. January looking for something, not going to find anything quite yet. But now Baker Mayfield has been forced off of this dragon here that's about to spawn. His ultimate is not available.
Yeah, no Agony's Embrace is really going to inhibit his fighting power. If that was something that Kaiju Gaming were looking for, they could really bully in right now, but instead gonna take a recall and try to reset for the time being. They're still scaling up on that Kaisa. He's got the Storm Razor finished and headed toward his second item. I'm not as familiar with Kaisa builds right now, but he's got a recurve bow. That's probably a Rage Blade, right?
Yeah, I think he's looking for the Rage Blade after the Storm Razor to be able to get that evolve that he wants. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with Kai'Sa builds either, but I know, you know, you build in a specific way to be able to get that evolve for yourself. You know, whichever evolve that you want. And with the Storm Razor, it's looking like an earlier game spike than, you know, with that tier build that a lot of Kai'Sas have been opting for lately.
Yeah, in really heads up play by Krabs. They saw January and CRXN back after clearing that wave, and they're able to go ahead and just sneak in and grab that dragon for themselves. And yeah, that feels pretty good. Getting the Earth Dragon, especially with your Evelynn ultimate down, feels good.
Yeah, I feel like the side of Kaiju Gaming should have capitalized just a little bit more with the Evelynn ultimate being down, but I guess that's okay that they hand over the dragon. It's no big deal right now, but once the Baron is started up and the side of the Golden Crabs is going to take that Baron so quickly, then it's going to matter a ton.
Yeah, and Asian Cactus, there's the Yumu's Ghost Blade, has Boots of Mobility to go with the Boots of Mobility on Paladin, so bot lane going to be speeding around the map, and we'll have to see if they can make some plays maybe in mid or top lane and start to open up the map a lot for Golden Crabs. I think that that's going to be their big win condition. They need to get out of this 2v2.
Yeah, but Warganite and Godzilla find each other. They're both waiting in the bush, lying in wait for this gank to happen, but Warganite is going to be forced away.
Yeah, and really heads up by Kaiju to go ahead and back off lane. Other Silas is in bot lane, and Evelynn could basically be anywhere. They have no words on like jungle camps or anywhere to see her on this map, and as a result, it looks like it might cost its Fox.
Yeah, it's Fox jumps in. He's going to get taken down by Warganite, and now they're pressuring onto the top side of the map. Paladin's going to get found, though. He's going to almost get rooted up. He's going to get taken down, though, so the snipe from January is going to pick another kill for himself.
Yeah, 4-1 now on this Kai'Sa. They're going to trade bot lane turret and top lane turret, which I don't think really favors anybody. We'll have to see who can continue this push or who wants to back off first. It looks like Baker Mayfield's going to back, but the push is going to continue for Kaiju Gaming. They might not look for this. Oh, I don't think he wanted those chains head. He hit them anyway as SP Pillars teleports in.
Yeah, he's going to run in and grab the Orn Horn, looking to use that one in the future to force and engage. But now it looks like the side of Kaiju Gaming is going to want to back off of this one. Baker Mayfield is in the area.
Yeah, and the mid tower actually goes down in the process as well. Godzilla able to push that one out. The Ornhorn comes through, but Mord's in the Shadow Realm. That's not going to hit him, as I'm doing play-by-play. Continue.
Yeah, and now the Killer Instinct jumps in, and January goes unstoppable, picking up a kill on the Asian Cactus. Now the knockup comes up. Toeproof is going to go down. CRXN now, having nobody to buff, is going to get taken down really low. Paladin now caught by 3 members of the enemy team. The Yoink kicks up Baker Mayfield, and that's going to be Warganite coming in, trying to turn this fight for his team. That's going to be a huge Gnar ultimate, picking up 2 members and going to take down SP Pillars, but now Warganite is on the chase. It's Fox is Mega. He's going to be slower than he is on that mini Gnar, but the jump comes through, and Warganite and It's Fox going to survive this one.
Yeah, what a bloodbath in the blue side jungle of the Golden Crabs. 4 for 4. Asian Cactus could be on the hunt if he wants to, but he's just going to be really fast. Can he actually get there? There's no way.
He might get there. Holy moly. He's going to be there. The Yomu's, the tower's down. He's going to find it. One more auto. He's not going to get it. No.
Warganite picks up the tower. That's a pretty heads-up play to go down to the bottom side where that's pushing in, as Asian Cactus just turns into the Quinn bus, heads down mid lane, almost picks up that kill onto It's Fox, forces the flash out. There were a lot of really cool plays during that fight that we didn't even really get to highlight. Particularly Godzilla able to pull a couple of people over the wall with the claw and then hit him with the mace and pick up 1 kill. I really like that play by him, and It's Fox just in the nick of time turning into Mega Gnar and able to pick up the 4th kill in exchange.
Yeah, and you know, both sides played that fight super excellently. If Warganite was able to be there earlier in the fight, I feel like the fight would have turned in favor of the Golden Crabs, but since he wasn't, now Godzilla's gonna get rooted up by the Golden Crabs. They're gonna find one. The Baron is in the area. Baker Mayfield gonna try to get out of this one. The Orn Horde comes out, going to find Tiltproof. It's Fox going to find a 4-man Gnar ultimate, but he's gonna get rooted up. He's gonna get taken down. Baker Mayfield coming back on the side. Now SP Pillars looking for the engage on the Tiltproof. and CRXN, who are running for their lives. January is finally here, looking for the fight. He could clean this one out, but CRXN going to try to get out of this one. He's not going to find it. Asian Cactus going to go down. Now the stun going on to Tiltproof. Tiltproof trying to get out of this one. Wargnite going to finally take him down and go on a rampage. And now 4 members of the enemy team are down, and the Golden Crabs opt to go to the mid lane.
Yeah, it looks like mid lane and then Dragon's going to be the call. That was just really messy from Kaiju. Godzilla gets picked off because he thinks that they have vision control all over, but Golden Crabs have just littered the Baron area with wards. And they're able to pick off Godzilla at the start of the fight. It's Fox goes in, hits a big Gnar ultimate, but there's no one to follow up. And January just trailing a little bit behind the play. They try to re-engage as CRXN tries to slide toward January in that fight. He goes down, and then Tiltproof gets cleaned up as a result as well. And it's just, you can see the miscommunication happening over and over. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Asian Cactus, they're gonna go for one. Asian Cactus now able to take down the 7 and 3 Kaisa in the form of January, and that's gonna be huge in terms of later fights, knowing that the Quinn can 1v1 January if he needs to, but also having that assassination from Baker Mayfield and the damage from Wargnite. That's huge for momentum in terms of the Golden Crabs.
Yeah, I worried just a little bit about if this game's going longer. The Kaisa, definitely a huge late game 80 carry threat. And Quinn, not as much. Quinn needs to get those assassinations off. So if she's not targeting Kaisa during these fights, I think that Quinn's effectiveness is just so much lower than Kaisa's. And as the game starts to extend, it's going to be harder and harder for them to find these openings.
Yeah, and looking at the itemization, I wish January would have picked up that Tear of the Goddess going into that Manamune, because they really should be playing for this late game. They have these snowbally picks in the form of Evelynn and Quinn. I feel like they could just wait that one out and then play through January later in the game, and with that Tear build, he'd be much stronger than he is without the Tear.
Yeah, Wargnite has quickly come online, though. He's a beast now on the Nico with the Luden's Echo plus the Morello, almost finished up his hat as well. And you have the Ornn items, you have a couple of dragons in your pocket, so the game extending isn't necessarily the enemy. It's just you're going to fall off, you're going to hit a stop dead point at like 40-50 minutes where the enemy team's going to outscale you. They've done an excellent job extending that timeout so far, but they really need to make a move here in the next couple of minutes to grab this Baron and start to really open up the map.
Yeah, and we see Baker Mayfield on the side. He's not going to get spotted out by that ward because he's invisible. But looking at Godzilla's itemization is really interesting. He opted to not finish his boots quite yet, but going for that Rylai's and that almost the Haunting guys, the component of the Liandry's Torment. And once he gets that Liandry's Torment, he's going to be an absolute menace. It's going to be really hard for the enemy team to be able to play around him in these team fights, just because of that Liandry's Torment power spike for Mordekaiser. It's absolutely huge.
Yeah, it's Fox's Mega now, so that'll be Crabs needing to back off or risk getting hit by the Narsho. Paladin doing a good job binding him up, and right now we've hit that point where both teams are playing around vision, and it looks like Baker Mayfield he's dead.
Yeah, he's absolutely dead on this one. Now it's Fox looking for SP pillars, but they have the position on Baron now. Baker Mayfield is down for the count, and Wargnite going to find a lot of damage on the Godzilla, but he's going to almost go down. The big stun from the Nico, but that's not going to be enough. Tiltproof steals it. He's going to find a 3-man Nico ultimate onto the enemy team, and now Tiltproof is taking over this fight. SP pillars is the last one left, but it's not going to be enough. He's not going to be able to survive, and now the eyes go towards the Baron for Kaiju Gaming.
And January survived that fight, meaning that they can look at this Baron with Godzilla and its Fox. That was just a huge hijack and steal from Tiltproof, able to go back in. Wargnite didn't quite have the damage to finish everybody off, and there wasn't the follow-up damage from the Evelynn or the Ornn to confirm those kills, and as a result, it got turned around immediately, and Kaiju with a huge team fight now has the advantage.
Yeah, now Kaiju Gaming, the momentum turning into their favor. The Baron has been picked up for them, and now they're slowly closing the gold lead, which is pretty much even at this point.
Yeah, the Dragon's really the only difference right now in this game. The extra Mountain Dragon plus the Infernal right now for Crabs, going to have them hang on in the game, plus every level that Orin gets now, he can gift somebody one of those very juicy forge items, and that'll help give them at least a little bit of extension on the gold timer as well. I think the math is it's about 1,000 gold worth of stats that you get from each forge upgrade.
Yeah, I believe it's about 1,000 gold of stats, which is really efficient. You know, it's just that free gold that you get for your team, and it makes it a little bit more in favor of the golden crab still. But you know, the Baron is on the side of Kaiju Gaming.
Oh, and he's only upgraded one. He should have two so far at level 14. Just needs to maybe group up with his team. He's got the Forge Fire Cape on himself, can give Nico one of those. I don't actually think Quinn or, well, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
but
get
hold that. He's going to get dove real quick. The Ornhorn going to come out, but not going to be recast to be able to knock anybody up. Now, Asian Cactus is here. He has gone fast, but not popped the U moves. And now he's looking for something. The Baron Siege is on. The Nico ultimate has been stolen by Tiltproof. He's looking for anything. Now he finds Asian Cactus. The chains have landed. Baker Mayfield is going to get pulled back in. He's going to get taken down. Now, Paladin on the wrong side of the fight. He's going to find himself backing away from this one. The inhibitor is now down. Its Fox has transformed into that Meganar, and they're looking for the Nexus turrets.
Yeah, and just the little extra vision that they have in the red side jungle. Hold that thought.
Yeah, now Nico Ultimate getting knocked back, and Warch Knight not going to be able to find anything. He's going to get knocked into the turret, and that's going to be an ace for Kaiju Gaming, and that's going to be the game.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere, basically. The Baron buff plus the little bit of vision that they have in the red side jungle going to enable the finish now for Kaiju Gaming. We'll see if Pillars can get one back. Doesn't look like it. But yeah, they put a pink ward in the bush just like below red buff, and that meant that they knew nobody was able to rotate, so they collapse onto SP Pillars, and then they're able to pick off just a couple of extra members in the fight afterwards, and all of a sudden they broke open the base, they broke open the game, and Krabs can't do anything about that despite being the better team throughout the early game.
Yeah, Kaiju Gaming accelerating the game so quickly. Once they got that Baron, they pushed the waves in, and then the Golden Crabs just didn't know how to respond, and they sent SP Pillars up to the top lane by himself, defenseless, and that means that Kaiju Gaming could just rotate on him. They kill him really quickly, and then they move in for more.
Yeah, and that killer instinct from Kaiju is going to serve them very well. That's a pun. It wasn't a very good pun though. But they're 3-0 now on the season, and you know it's them and GSM you have to think going forward, and we'll see how that continues to play out.
Yeah, and honestly, looking at the division, Kaiju Gaming is my pick to win the split because they're just playing so well as a team. They just understand this objective control so well, and they have this super carry in the form of Junior, who's able to get them back into these games as long as they play around him. And as soon as they stop making the mistake of taking these fights or taking these skirmishes without Junior there, then I believe that they'll just win straight out.
Yeah, another really exciting game. That's two good ones to start with. Hopefully it just keeps rolling for the rest of these.
Yeah, and we're going to take a break and be right back for our third game of the day, which is going to be the Mighty Ducks versus Gecko Slammer Armageddon. We'll be right back. All right, hello and welcome back to GRLCS Fall Split 2019 Golden Division Week 3. In our first 2 games of the day, we had some really excellent games. We saw Team 623 backslash take down Get Money Boys in an interesting fashion, and then last game we just saw I'm blanking, Kaiju Gaming take down the Golden Crabs in a very back and forth fashion as well. And now we move into our third game of the day, which is going to be Gecko Slammer Armageddon versus the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, and this is 2 undefeated teams going head-to-head, so we'll have 1 less of those at the end of the day. The winner of this game will be up at the top of the standings with Kaiju Gaming, and the loser is going to fall to 2-1 and into the kind of slog nothingness that is right below that.
Yeah, and looking to see who ties with Kaiju Gaming is going to be really interesting because, these teams, although are both 2-0, GSM is slightly favored in this matchup just because of how dominant that their games have been in the first 2 weeks. But they're looking for the invade here. But before we do that, let's go and introduce the teams. Actually, we'll wait until this invade is done.
Yeah, I don't think anything's going to happen here, so we should be safe.
Okay, all right, so on the blue side, we have the Mighty Ducks. We have Dillinger in the top lane on Ornn. We have Scrambles in the jungle on Nocturne. In the mid lane, we have Goosey on Bran. In the bot lane, we have Dirty Audacity and Eggplants out on Kaisa and Nautilus.
And on the red side, wearing the red health bars, is going to be Gecko Slammer Armageddon. In the top lane, GSM Skipper on Silas, Panther 553,212 on Zach, and now I'm not going to get to talk anymore.
Yeah, because the invade has found Eggplant out. He's going to get taken down really low. Now Panther goes into his passive. He's going to get blobbed, and Skipper is going to get hooked back in. He's going to get taken down for first blood. Meanwhile, Dillinger is going to get taken down as well. That's a 1-for-1 right now. The Eggplant's out, gets hooked back in. He's going to find himself rooted, and he's going to get taken down as well. Scrambles has finally joined the fight, and he is on his way. Hog Levi's going really low, but now Goosey gonna go and back off of that one. Silver Spade looking for another hook, not going to find it. Wait, but that's another root off to Goosey, and Goosey's gonna get taken super low. He's gonna be forced back pretty darn soon. But yeah, let's finish introducing the teams real quick.
Yeah, Seymour's playing mid. He's on Swain. He's got 15 extra health so far this game, so that's pretty cool. Hog Levi's and Silver Spade 10 in the bottom lane on Zaya and Pike.
But yeah, so looking at the champions right now, this is the first week, or the first game on stream, I don't know. Actually, no, the first week where Dillinger has been put on a tank. In the past, he's been put on, the Renekton and the Urgot, I believe. So it's very interesting that they opt to have him on this tank versus Skipper, who is this big carry player. In the past, he's been playing, the Renekton, I believe the Jax as well. And this is his first game on the Silas, this split.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to... I guess it's interesting to think about if it's a team comp thing or if it's something where he just feels like his tank matchups into carries are just a little bit stronger. Traditionally in Gold Capped, you see a lot of tank top laners, and maybe it's more comfortable playing carries into tanks and then vice versa for Dillinger, or maybe it's just for team comp. Maybe they just really wanted the Ornn to go with everything else to help set up the CC and then have the Nautilus follow up to make sure that nobody moves for about 7.5 years and get through college, raise some kids.
Yeah, and with the Ornn Horn, Skipper trading really well onto Dillinger here, who does not have the flash from the invite, but neither top laner has flash, actually. But with the Ornn Horn being paired with the Nocturne ultimate, the Paranoia, it's going to be a really excellent long-range form of engage, and, backing the Nocturne up with the Ornn Horn is going to be super important later in these fights. But now Goosey getting traded onto, he still hasn't backed yet. Who is backed? Nobody is backed.
I mean, the people who died backed, but I think that's it.
Yes, and they did not get to pick up anything because they died. But anybody who picked up a kill? No, we have the Targon's Brace now from Silver Spade, who just now backed.
Yeah, and Eggplant's out has an extra rejuve feed, like kind of minor. Oh,
but now Goosey's gonna take him down, and that's another auto, and finally he's gonna go down, being punished for not backing against Seymour on the Swain.
Yeah, and Seymour's been really dominant so far in this game. I don't know that he's missed a claw. I can't think of the actual name of that ability, but the E is proving pretty useful, and he's picking up a lot of extra health with it now as Dillinger's trading back. Oh, the pillar! Oh, I thought that had glitched him into the wall. You can do some nasty things with the Ornn pillar and the Trundle pillar just to prevent people from moving, but...
Yeah, now Silver Spade, it's his first game on Pike this split. You know, in the past he's been put on the Bard, the Morgana. So it's going to be interesting to see him on this this more of a playmaker rather than that kind of caster playmaker. I mean, they're all playmakers. They're all in his champ pool. You know, the big playmaker support in gold, that is Silver Spade. But the Pike's going to be interesting. Do you know if in the past splits he's played Pike some?
Yeah, he's played Pike and Thresh as well, and that's pretty much his champion pool there. Pike, Thresh, Morgana, Bard, I would say. Probably can play other things. Those are just the ones that I really associate with Silver Spade, and I know that he's a monster on. As Panther, just going to kind of say hey in mid, as he got a ward down.
Yeah, he's just going to go ahead and say hey. But it's going to be really interesting to see how Silver Spade performs this split on the Pike. It is his first game, but if he's known for it, then I believe in him. But we look at the mid lane now. Let's look at the jungle real quick. So we have Scrambles on this Nocturne, which he has played in the past this split. But Panther, I don't believe he's played the Zac this split, but he's been put on, you know, other tank junglers such as the Amumu. So it's more of like a role type thing with the big team fight ultimate. So it's really good in terms of playstyle for the side of GSM, just because this is what they're used to. You know, they're used to having that big engaged tank jungler, and being able to draft that for themselves is pretty important.
Yeah, at least in my opinion, Zac has been Panther's best champion for the last couple of splits, so I'm really curious to see how that fell through, and if Mighty Ducks can actually play around the Zac gank paths. As Goosey on the roam down, Scrambles is in the area, so it's just gonna kind of turn into a bunch of bodies bottom.
Wait,
and
Skipper's gonna force, he's gonna force the flash from Dillinger in the top lane here. But yeah, a bunch of flashes forced now in the game. Eggplant's out, doesn't have his flash now, and that's gonna be a big target for Panther in the jungle. Looking down the roam here, but now the Ornhorn comes out. It's not going to find it. That's gonna be the flash, but Skipper goes back in. He's gonna find the knockup on the Skipper, but Skipper's gonna heal up. He's gonna go unstoppable, and he's gonna find the solo kill on the Skipper.
yeah, that's just the level 5 versus the level 6. If Skipper had just been a little bit patient, hits the level 6, he can jack the Ornhorn and get that kill from a safe distance. Instead gets a little bit greedy and pays for it.
Yeah, but now Scrambles is going to find himself out of this one. An excellent hook onto Levi's is going to force him away. But now Panther on the move. There's going to be the flash forward from Seymour. He's going to find the slow on the Eggplants out, who does not have flash. Dirty Audacity now is caught. Not going to find the Xayah Feathers, and he's going to almost get out of this one. But Seymour's on the chase. He's not going to find the auto. Not going to be able to take this one out.
Yeah, everybody taken super low, and they don't have a teleport to try to return to this lane, so it'll be up to Scrambles and Goosey just to try to hold this pressure. It was a good roam from Seymour and Panther to try to come down here. They don't get anything for it immediately, other than maybe a little bit of map pressure, and they force Goosey to come down and babysit bottom for a little bit.
Yeah, now that Goosey is bot, there's going to be a lot of EXP lost in the mid lane. That's going to go over to Seymour. And now Seymour picking up that 150 gold bounty for himself, now sitting on the Catalyst of Eons. And it's going to be really nice for Seymour moving into his mid game as he finishes his Rod of Ages, you know?
Yeah, and any quicker that you can get to that Rod of Ages... Oh no! Panther!
Oh no!
He's just gone everywhere. Oh, Seymour picks it up with the eye.
Seymour
okay,
picks it up with the eye. He's going to pick up that blue buff for himself, but Panther is not going to have passive. The Mighty Ducks don't have knowledge of this, however. They're going to assume that he has passive for this next fight, but he will not, and he will go down very quickly. He's just not very tanky at this point in the game.
Yeah, and that's... Panther hasn't been able to make those plays with his passive up. You can normally see Zax get really aggressive, even early on in the game, because they have that passive. You can go tower dive and do really ridiculous things, but loses it in the first invade and then loses it again to the blue buff is going to really be a detriment to his tempo that he wants to put on with the Zac.
Yeah, but now Goosey is getting traded on. You know, this Swain versus Brand matchup is very interesting because, oh, never mind, hold that thought. There's a TP coming in, and a TP in return. Hog Levi's does not have anything, and he's going to get paranoid on. He's going to get taken down. Meanwhile, we get the knockup, and the Ornhorn coming out now. Silver Spade 10 finds the hook, and that's not going to be the Ornhorn coming out again, but that's a double kill now for Dirty Audacity.
Yeah, and Dillinger maybe just not as comfortable on this Ornn. That's 2 Ornn ults that he just hasn't been able to connect with. And
but hold that thought. Scrambles is caught here. Panther comes in with the splash. That's going to be a double Q on the Eggplants out and Scrambles. Dirty Audacity on the backside. Left unchecked, but Eggplants out is going to get taken down. He does not have flash.
Yeah, the original engagement really good for Mighty Ducks. They're able to take advantage of Kaisa able to hit level 6 and Scrambles having level 6 before Levi's and Silver Spade are able to. So they dive onto Levi's, take him down without having that Feather Storm available. That was the good part. Then the bad part kind of happens. The trade for with Dirty Audacity getting a kill in exchange for Dillinger's life was fine, but the extended engagement goes the way of GSM.
Yeah,
and
but
now the Infernal Dragon as well.
Yeah, the Infernal Dragon is being started up. Nobody is quite in the area. Scrambles is here. They have vision on it. We'll see if he goes for the steal. He's going to try, but it's not going to be enough. The Dragon's going to be secured for GSM.
Yeah, and that's a pretty big pickup. That'll help. You know, they have 3 big damage dealers. Even the Pike scales really well with that Infernal Dragon. And any additional AD and AP you can get is usually pretty welcome.
Yeah, now this really early rod has been completed for Seymour here. He has the Rod of Ages at 10 minutes, which is absolutely huge because he's going to be able to stack that up. And, you know, he's not going to be so much of a late game Swain as he is going to be a mid game Swain now. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that, you know, how that turns out.
Yeah, he'll have that Rod of Ages fully stacked at 20 minutes and probably have an Oblivion Orb to go with that. And that's going to be very, very difficult for anybody on Ducks to try to deal with. Dirty Audacity is going to be the one that you're looking at to try to chunk through, maybe some extra % health damage from Goosey, but because they're so far off the ball on that, they're just not going to have that raw damage to chunk through. And when Seymour's in that Demonic Ascension, he might as well be a frontline tank on that Swain.
Yeah, and the Executioner's Blade does come out for Dirty Audacity to kind of check that Swain, check the Pike maybe, but it slows down Kaisa's build quite a bit. He is not opting for the tier this time, so it's not going to be as slowed down as you know, as he would with the tier. But picking up that Storm Razor first, and then the Executioner's Calling is going to be really interesting. Moving in the mid game, he's not going to have as much damage as he could, but you know, checking that healing is really important.
Yeah, I don't know that I like it in this lane. I'm not going to get to talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he uses the Killer Instinct to get out. That was almost a good trade on to Silver Spade.
Yeah, well, you were saying?
Anyway, so on Kaisa, you can't apply that the Executioner's Calling proc with your abilities because they do magic damage. You have to do physical damage in order to apply the heal debuff with Executioner's Calling. So that means he has to be auto-attacking, which if he's in range to auto-attack Panther and Silver Spade, they're probably not healing anyway. So I don't know that I love the early pickup of it.
Yeah, so now the Rift Herald has been picked up and now dropped into the bot side of the map before 14 minutes, so they're going to get the turret plating from this. This is going to be huge because of Mighty Ducks have been playing through their bot lane really excellently. They might almost pick up first tower. Now that Scrambles is in the area, we can finally see the health of the tower. It's going to go down to 1 turret plating, but now Levi's is here and there's a TP coming behind them. The Paranoia is available.
He gets
Dirty Audacity steps up too far. He's going to flash away, but it's not going to be enough. Now he's going to get the shutdown. Now Paranoia comes out onto Levi's, but Levi's going to use the Feather Storm and get out of this one. The root comes out, but now Eggplant's out trying to save the day. It's not going to be enough. Goosey is on his way, but it's not going to be fast enough. Silver Spade 10 coming up with the hook pretty soon, but now Goosey is there in the area. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we see a big train, the Ornhorn about to come out, but that's going to be the hook on the Levi's. They're going to find him. They're going to find the kill on the Skipper. Seymour flashes in, returns the kill onto Eggplant's out. Now Silver Spade 10 is really low. They're going to find the hook onto it. It's going to be a trade kill, and that's going to be everybody almost dying from both sides.
Yeah, Seymour and Panther and Dillinger are going to be the only survivors of this cross-map fight. Really well done by Dillinger up in the top lane to take advantage of Skipper being just a little bit too aggressive on the Silas. Takes an extra tower shot, and that's his key to go. On the bottom side of the map, though, it's all GSM. As Seymour teleports in, gets the big bird bomb to start everything off, and then Scrambles and Eggplants out didn't need to commit to follow back up. Instead, they fly into Levi's, who still has Featherstorm up. And I think you just sacrifice that 1 kill and get out. In that situation, I don't think that Scrambles and Eggplants out needed to stay and try to turn that.
Yeah, they don't necessarily get anything off of turning that because, you know, the tower is already so low. But now Seymour's going to find Eggplants out. He's going to get rooted up. The Aftershock's going to trigger. Silver Spade 10 not going to find the hook. However, now the jump in from Panther and Dirty Audacity is going to use the Killer Instinct, try to get out, but he's not going to survive this one. Eggplants out, uses the hook, but found by Hog Levi's. But he's going to get zoned away by Goosey. Silver Spade 10 still has the ultimate available. He's about to dash in and try to go on to Eggplants out, but he's going to get stunned up instead. He's going to be taking a lot of damage. Goosey's going to sidestep the hook. He's going to find the kill onto this, and that's going to be a double kill for Silver Spade 10 on the pike.
Yeah, and the gold inflation that Silver Spade's providing now, the double execute there, some extra executes early on. He's 7-1 on the pike, and he's able to share all of that gold with his team, and that's causing that 3,000 gold lead that we see, plus this mid tower being picked up, maybe?
Yeah, but the Paranoia is going to come out, going to pick up the kill and the shutdown on the Silver Spade, actually. That's going to be pretty big for Scrambles now, you know, getting that shutdown for himself. But Silver Spade is 7-2 on this pike. That gold inflation, as you said, is just absolutely huge now that the pike changes have come through. And it's just really hard for you know, for Mighty Ducks to counterplay that. There's really no counterplay other than dodging the pike ultimate. And we on the top side, there's a big trade. The Orange Horn comes out, and that's gonna be another solo kill for Dillinger.
Yeah, the extra passive damage just always catches people by surprise as Dillinger able to get that solo kill. Now Panther here trying to scrap with him, and we'll see if Dillinger can actually come out on top, just trying to reset his cooldowns here as Panther picks up some bloblets. I'm doing play-by-play, go ahead.
Yeah, Panther now looking for the kill, but he's getting really low. The passive is going to be available, but Dillinger now on the chase, trying to do this one. He's going to be able to AoE, and he's going to take another kill for himself. Now 4-2 on that Ornn.
Yeah, able to take two separate 1v1s on the Ornn. Really nicely played by Dillinger, able to get a little bit of health back thanks to that Grasp of the Undying proc and continue to force that through. Really patient, waiting on his cooldowns as well. And now the dive in the bottom lane.
Yeah, now Seymour is getting dove. All cooldowns are coming onto him, and that's going to be the shutdown onto Seymour. And that's absolutely huge. Goosey might... Oh, that was really close. They're going to trade the bot lane turret for the mid lane turret here, and possibly the top lane turret, because now Silver Spade is in the area. He has ultimate available. We'll see if he gets him in execute range, and he just might. Now Silver Spade 10 taking a lot of damage. Skipper taking the tower now, and both members of GSM opting to get out of this one, deciding that Dillinger is just too tanky and they don't have enough minions.
Yeah, just a little bit too tanky and not able to find the hook and the extra CC that they needed to make sure they can layer on the damage. So probably a good check down there by GSM. They get the mid tower though, and that's very important. Look at Silver Spade start to sweep through. Look at all of the wards on that blue side now for GSM.
Or that's the Mighty Ducks, isn't it? On the blue side.
Yeah, Mighty Ducks is on the blue side.
Okay, yes, yeah, they have a ton of vision on the bot side, you know, prepping for that dragon that I believe that they just picked up for themselves.
I meant up here where Eggplant's out is sweeping right now. Silver Spade just went through and put down a couple of wards in here.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Miscommunication. We're good.
Yes, all good. And now, now that the Rift Herald is down, the Dragon is down. It'll be interesting to see where both teams move their members. Just because, you know, having the Seymour in the side lane doesn't seem as optimal anymore now that he got killed that one time. So now the confidence is kind of down for Seymour, not really wanting to go to the bot lane without that vision to, you know, to secure the priority in that lane for himself and that safety. Now Silver Spade 10 might get caught out here, but he's going to find an excellent hook on the Eggplants out. But now the Orange Horn comes out. Dillinger not going to be able to rechannel that one. The Paranoia comes out onto the Feather Storm. Now on the backside of the fight, Seymour with the big bird bomb coming in, and he's doing so much damage. The Paranoia has been stolen, now going on to Dillinger, and Dillinger is going to get taken very low, and now Silver Spade's gonna pick that one up for himself, taking the shutdown. Now GSM is on the chase. Dirty Audacity comes onto the backside, finds the Killer Instinct on the Skipper, and now that's going to be a 2 for 2. Just all even now up until Silver Spade almost gets caught. That's going to be the flash away from Silver Spade, and an excellent hook from Eggplants out.
So I have no idea what's going on macro-wise. This was a super weird game state. There's no objectives right now that they're fighting over. Both teams just trying to get vision in this blue side around that top turret for Mighty Ducks, and they decide just to scrap in the blue side jungle. It goes the way of GSM mostly, with Dirty Audacity able to sneak a kill back in there, and really good knock up by Panther, able to stop the Orange Horn from coming through or the recast of the Orange Horn from Dillinger, because that would have made all of the difference to start that fight off in the right way.
Yeah, it's very interesting that both these teams are, just finding each other in the jungle and opting for the fight immediately because, neither team is just, usually ready for that. They're kind of just seeing it and, taking the play. It's more of like a 50-50 fight. But something I want to highlight here is Skipper on the Sylas now. It's not something that he's played this split, but now he's like 0-6 on the Sylas, and normally he's performed really well, on these carry picks in the top lane. So why do you think this game that he's getting solo killed by the Ornn?
So Skipper's just a very aggressive player in general, and we've seen Dillinger just able to find a little bit of trading on that over aggression. He took a tower shot in that second trade, just didn't respect the level 6 from Ornn early on, and it's just been those two plays that have kind of snowballed the game against him. I wouldn't say he's necessarily playing badly. He's getting his farm on, and even that Nocturne ult that he had in that last fight was probably the right ult to steal and also the right target to go on. He just didn't quite have the damage to finish anybody off while he dove through.
Yeah, now the Infernal Drink spawning now in 30 seconds. It looks like GSM has the position on it. They have the vision control right now, and they're pushing in the waves. Meanwhile, the bot lane is pushing in for the Mighty Ducks. They find a hook onto Dillinger, and Dillinger's not going to be able to get out of this one. He doesn't have flash, and now the Paranoid comes out to try to save Dillinger, but it's not going to be enough. The Paranoid's going to wear out, and the Ornhorn's going to come out. Not going to be channeled again. What are you doing, Dillinger? And now
he got hooked out of it.
And the Bird Bomb coming back in. There's a big frontline threat, and now the Killer Instinct comes in. He's going to get taken down immediately, and this is just going to be GSM absolutely cleaning house. They're going to pick up the Infernal Drake for themselves and possibly the Baron after this ace.
Yeah, he got hooked out of the recast of his ultimate by Silver Spade. The 10-2 Pike making every play that he needs to, and the big team fight win and the ace for GSM. They're going to look at Baron. Hopefully not an overreach by them now, as Scrambles is going to be alive here in 5 seconds and will be on his way toward this Baron. I think they just get the vision and back out.
Yeah, they should. if they do the Baron here, the TP is available from Dillinger, and Scrambles is on the way. They're all fairly low, although the Ornhorn isn't available, there's still a lot of damage from that Ornn, especially with that, with how Fetty is right now. So it would be really difficult for them to finish that Baron, and I'm glad that they didn't. They found the big fight, and they're able to, know exactly what they can take off of that and go ahead and reset afterwards.
Yeah, it felt like that might have been the start to the fight that Mighty Ducks needed. Despite the pull over the wall, I don't think that this is the one that they need. This is going to be Eggplants Out just getting picked off, though.
Yeah, Eggplants Out getting picked off, and that's a flash away from Scrambles. The Paranoia is almost available, but now the Baron is available to take for GSM. And I'm wondering if they take it here. They know that there's vision there from the Scuttle Crab, but they're going to go ahead and bait this one out. Yeah, the Scuttle Crab doesn't grab vision into the pit, so now the Mighty Ducks don't exactly know that the Baron has been started up, and they bait out the Ornhorn here. Now the Ornhorn comes out. Skipper's on the side now looking for something. They're looking for a pick into the jungle now. It looks like Eggplants Out is back up. He's going to head back into the area, but they're going to opt to move into the mid lane instead.
Yeah, and now Eggplant's Out back alive, but the rest of Mighty Ducks not able to collapse on this, so they just get the inside track to the inner turret there, burst it down because they can face tank it, and now they'll get away basically with thievery. They take the inner turret in exchange for just nothing.
Yeah, it is absolutely an exchange for nothing, and now they have all this vision control GSM does into this topside jungle, and the Mighty Ducks are just getting choked out. It's going to be really hard for them to move into this Baron to contest it just because of all the vision, and now Silver Spade now is about to catch out Dillinger. There's a hook, and now he's going to get taken down, stunned up, and the Ornhorn comes out, not going to find anybody, but now that's another pick for GSM, and the Scuttle Crab is down. They might just start the Baron here.
Yeah, and that was Skipper's Ornhorn, not Dillinger's. So nothing really on cooldown right now except maybe the hijack for GSM. So they'll start up the Baron, and there's not going to be even an opportunity to contest for Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, the Mighty Ducks are just so far behind at this point for pick after pick for GSM, and it's just so hard for them to get back into this game. But we've seen them do it in the past 2 weeks. We've seen these big comebacks from the Mighty Ducks, and I want to see if they can do it again. The other teams in the past, they've gotten the Barons, they've gotten the Dragons, they've gotten all the fights that they've needed, but they weren't able to close the game against the Mighty Ducks. But this is a different story. This is GSM we're talking about.
Yeah, Dirty Audacity is who you have to watch. He needs to get a second. He needs to get that Rage Blade on Kaisa. He needs to get online and getting some auto attacks down on these fights. If he can, if Goosey can just chunk through a couple of people with that brand combo and set up for Dirty Audacity to fly in and do all of the damage, they have an opportunity to turn this around. But Seymour is huge. Uh, there's really nothing other than that. Seymour is huge. Silver Spade can just kill everybody. He's got 2 lethality items. That means that he'll start executing people from like 50% health. It's pretty disgusting at this point in the game. He just hit level 11 as well, so he'll have that second rake ultimate, and Panther can engage from 3 screens away on that Zac. So you have to be so careful and find that ideal fight if you're Ducks in order to get back in it.
Yeah, and now the Ducks move Dillinger to the side lane as the bottom and mid turrets are being pushed in on by GSM. Nobody is matching Skipper right now, and Skipper's going to get a ton of damage onto that bot lane turret, especially if GSM decide to rotate down right now, which is, you know, what they're looking to do.
Yeah, and right now it's just GSM can play slowly. They have a bunch of free towers they can get. They can grab this one if they want to rotate up to top lane. They basically have 2 free towers that they can get there and put just extra gold in their pockets, or they can keep up the pressure here in the bottom side. Whatever they're feeling right now. That's a nice ultimate to steal on the Nautilus from Skipper. So that's going to set up a huge AoE chain if they want to, if they can get the Zac engage onto the right targets.
Yeah, now they find the hook, and the Ornhorn's going to come out, not going to be channeled and recast, and now the fight is in GSM's favor. The Nautilus ultimate comes down from Skipper. That's the dive from Panther. He's going to go onto Dirty Audacity, who's going to be in the backline. Nobody's quite on him yet, and that Scramble's in the backside, going to get taken down very quickly. Seymour trying to do something. He's going to throw out the bird bomb, doing so much damage, and GSM looking to find themselves another ace here. One more kill on the Dillinger will make it, and that's going to be 2 aces for GSM.
Yeah, and that's just the tragedy of Dirty Audacity, that fight. He steps just a little bit too far forward, gets the Silas Nautilus ultimate, the point and click target for half of his health, and then gets zoned out by Panther diving into the backline. He can't auto attack anybody. He can't do anything in these fights, and that'll be the game for GSM.
And now GSM moving into week 4 at 3-0, while the Ducks fly down to 2-1. And this is what we expected, you know, looking into this game. The GSM was absolutely favored, but, you know, it's very interesting how this played out because the Ducks look pretty competitive in the early game.
Hanging in there. They had opportunities early game. It just feels like 2 plays didn't go their way, and Silver Spade's Pike pulled Dillinger out of 3 or 4 Orna ultimates, and that was the big turning point. If you can't lead with that CC, all of a sudden you just have no team fight as the Mighty Ducks, and it was disgusting. It was well dismantled, and yeah, MVP Silver Spade, Seymour gets a shout out for being filthy on Swain.
Yeah, absolutely. MVP Silver Spade, you know, finding so many of those great hooks, hooking people over walls and finding those engages for his team, because honestly, there's no other engage option for his team, just the Pike hook and then maybe like a Silas engage, but finding those Pike hooks were so critical in this game, and I'm curious to see if Silver Spade gets Pike for the rest of the season. That was just absolutely dirty.
Yeah, disgusting player, disgusting champion. I don't want to see it again. Or do I? I don't really know.
Yeah.
What am I rooting for? What are my rooting interests here? We'll never know.
Yeah, you do play in the division, so hopefully you don't have to see it again, you know, seeing that dirty of a Pike. But, you know, you might have to. But now we're going to take a break and move into our 4th game of the day, which is going to be Big Fat Int versus Flex Gaming.
to what we love. Risk the follow, we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding, only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of the world that we defy. Us all right of the few who rise up high, and we all fight at the last rise.
Hello and welcome back to Fall 2019 GRLCS Gold Division Week 3, and this is our 4th game of the day, and it's going to be on the new patch, but it's going to be Big Fat Int versus Flex Gaming.
Yeah, and these are two teams who haven't been able to get into the win column yet, so it's an important game for both of them to get a little bit of momentum going into their season and hopefully turn things around from the kind of rough starts that they've had.
Yeah, although both teams are 0-2, it's interesting looking at their strength of schedule, you know. Big Fat Int has played against the Mighty Ducks and Kaiju Gaming, which were both 2-0 up until this point, and Kaiju Gaming looking like a favorite to win the entire split. But then you look at... that was Flex Gaming that played against Mighty Ducks and Kaiju Gaming. But on the side of Big Fat Int, they've played against Return of the Millsticks and Get Money Boys.
Yeah, so some tough schedules to start off with, and but we'll see how they recover, where their mental's at for this game. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and introduce our teams.
Yeah, on the blue side, we have Flex Gaming. In the top lane, we have Horny Yordle on Garen. In the jungle, we have the Alpha Kraka on Sejuani. In the mid lane, we have Flex Echo on Echo. In the bot lane, we have Coco Mabrizi and M-Love on Zaya and Alistar.
And on the other side, we have Big Fat Int wearing the red health bars for this game. In the top lane, Tumbo playing Urgot, Villananners in the jungle playing Nunu, Jay Werewolf manning the Veigar in mid lane, and It's Beepots and Mexen in the bot lane on Ezreal and Morgana.
Yeah, and this is on that new patch, and I believe the only relevant change in terms of this game for this patch is those Echo buffs. On his Parallel Convergence, I believe he received some, I believe they were mana buffs, so it's cheaper for him in terms of mana to use that Parallel Convergence, so it's pretty nice.
It's a stun duration buff.
Oh, and
it's
a stun
0.5
duration
extra
buff.
seconds on his stun, which is just disgusting. A champion they've already buffed twice in the past couple of weeks got another buff.
Yeah, they're
So I
definitely
think that
wanting
we're
that
gonna
Echo for
see-
Worlds.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to see some Echo at Worlds. Probably is like a counter pick for pro teams, but in solo queue probably should be played every game. It's a disgusting game.
Yeah, and Flex Echo, you know, on his signature pick, the Echo. We'll see how he uses it. I believe he's played Echo just once so far. Probably the other games it's been banned. But we'll see how well he does on this Echo, especially with those buffs coming out.
Yeah, and in the top lane, Garen and Urgot, usually a good matchup for Urgot. You can stay out of range, and you have some ability just to throw some stuff at Garen to stop his regen. Garen's just a super annoying champion to dislodge from lane at any point, though. So we'll see how that all plays out.
Yeah, Itumbo, I believe, has played a little bit of Urgot in the past. Let me check those stats real quick. But no, he has not played that in the past. But meanwhile, Maxian gets engaged on the Ignite, comes out on the Maxian. It's going to be a flash forward and a heal and a flash away. Now Coco Mabrizi is in trouble. It's Beepotch trying to trade back, but that's going to be so many summoners burned from both sides of the bot lane.
Yeah, a lot of summoners being exchanged, and Coco Mabrizi just kind of trolling himself a little bit. Didn't have the E yet. I think maybe he thought that he did rather than having the Q and W, the first two abilities. So not able to get that Feather Recall and finish off Maxine, and instead that'll be just a trade and a little bit of sustain in the bottom lane being exchanged.
Yeah, so although Urgot is a popular pick in the gold division for the GRLCS, Itumbo has not played it yet. However, last week Horny Yordle played it both games, so I expect it to be, as a pick away from Horny Yordle, who's now forced onto this Garen, which he's not played before.
Yeah, I also know him personally, so I know he plays Urgot, but shout out Itumbo if you're watching. That's a nice start finding.
Yeah, and now the engage onto Itsby Potts, now going to use the Arcane Shift to try to get away. Not going to find the root, however, from the feathers. He's going to get away from this one, not having the flash.
Yeah, so again, Bpot's able just to stay alive in this bottom lane, and it feels like Flex just taking the initiative, able to find the engages so far, and Mlove sitting on all of his health pots, and Maxine and Bpots having used all of theirs is kind of indicative of how the lane's gone so far.
Yeah, now Maxine going to almost get rooted up, but not going to find it. The spell shield did not block it. I think otherwise it would have said shielded or something like that. That sounds familiar. But yeah, Maxine gonna get out of that one. But with the spell shield against the Xayah, it's really hard for Xayah to find those engages, and especially the Morgana into Alistar. Usually Xayah and Alistar will pick the same target and burst them real quick with that chain CC, but with that spell shield, that's not really available as an option to them.
Yeah, in general, when you're playing Alistar into Morgana, you can hit one of your CCs, but not the other one. You can kind of blast through the magic damage shield, but it becomes a little bit difficult if you're expecting somebody to move with your Pulverize and they don't, or you can kind of troll yourself with the headbutt if you're not expecting it. It's a harder matchup to play for the Alistar than them, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
But it's not impossible. You can just have enough damage to break through the Black Shield with your Pulverize and still get the headbutt CC. And that's especially if Morgana doesn't put any points in that Black Shield.
There's a flash forward from Flex Echo. He knows this matchup. He knows that he can get the solo kill here, but taking a little bit too many turret shots, he's gonna go down for first blood!
Yeah, and Jay Werewolf just puts him in the baby cage, and Echo has no way to leave before level 6 with his flash down, which he used to get into the fight in the first place. But nicely played by Jay Werewolf, able to just be patient and let Echo kind of outplay himself.
Yeah, and Echo outplaying himself because he already had the CS lead in lane. He didn't really need too much more. But now that the kill has gone over to Jay Werewolf, the lane's a little bit more even. Now, looking at in terms of gold there, Jay Werewolf is actually ahead at this point, despite being down in CS.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if that can continue forward. If Jay Werewolf can get comfortable on this Veigar, he can start deleting the Echo, can maybe look at roaming bottom and starting to get rid of the Xayah as well, stacking up that AP, and that'll be an important player to get going if you're Big Fat Int.
Yeah, now we look towards the bot lane again, and it's so important for Kokomo Breezy to be able to carry the side of Flex Gaming, because he really is their key player, kind of lacking in the other roles, but Kokomo Breezy has been an excellent ADC this split, in terms of like all the ADCs, and he's just been playing really well overall. So definitely looking to see Flex Gaming play around the bot side of the map and play around Kokomo Breezy.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. So Villananners on this Nunu is down about 20 CS. We also haven't really seen him attempt to gank, so I'm not sure where that time investment has been, but it seems like he's really struggling to keep up with the Sejuani early on, as Itumbo...
Yeah, he's going to flash forward, and that's going to be the Justice going over to Horny Yordle, and now the Dragon's going to be started up by the Alpha Kraken.
Yeah, and unfortunately, just kind of both players flashing at the same time makes it look a little bit more humorous than it is. But Horny Yordle gets in range for that Demacian Justice, and because of the
now the root comes forward, Villanana's caught up, the spell shield comes out, but it's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, they're chasing for more. It's Bpot's going to use Arcane Shift to get over the wall, but Maxian has no options available. Looking the flash now, going to find the flash, and Echo is going to back off of this one, but they force the side of Flex Gaming off of the Dragon.
Yeah, and Alpha Cracker and Mlove are both very low. If you can find level 6 on this Ezreal, if you get the roam down from Jay Werewolf, you can maybe find a kill or two in a cheeky way, but it looks like everybody's going to back off, and Alpha Cracker able to just sustain up in the jungle.
Yeah, Flex Echo playing this matchup so well. Jay Werewolf does not have the barrier available, but he's just going to get out of this one. But Echo trades super well on the J Werewolf on the Veigar, because once you put him in the cage, then, you know, you can put out your damage, but it's not going to be enough just because of the matchup, the nature of the melee versus the Veigar matchup.
Yeah, and we've seen Echo able just to throw out all of his damage before he gets trapped in the cage, and then just kind of dodge around, make sure he doesn't get hit by the missile. It's been good trades so far, and we'll have to see if he can keep it up, because it does get harder as the game goes on.
Yeah, the barrier comes out as the engage comes in. Meanwhile, Villananners is on the chase, looking for the greatest snowball, the biggest snowball ever. Not going to find anything. Going to move into the bot side of the map as Itumbo roams back up to the top lane.
Yeah, we really haven't seen either jungler make a big play at this point, and with Sejuani and Nunu, you have the ability to gank early on both of those champions. Instead, it's been pretty quiet from both junglers, and I've been kind of surprised. I think that favors the Sejuani just completely, because you can start to scale up and get a little bit tankier. You have the easier initiation late game.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Villananner has not been ganking so much in this early game, because in the past 2 weeks, at least on the games we've seen on stream, he ganked a considerable amount. I remember 1 week he was playing Zac, and I believe the other week was a Sejuani. But he did an excellent job ganking the early game and getting his laners ahead. But this game, he's been a little bit more hesitant, but also falling behind in farm, as you said. So maybe the Alpha Crack is just out jungling him completely.
Yeah, that's what it feels like early on. That's kind of the state that we're in. And now that Alpha Kraka has the Glacial Prison available, I want to see him really start to make some plays. You can set up, you can kill this Urgot, you can find Veigar. There's a lot of really immobile choices in these solo lanes if you can find an opening as Sejuani.
Yeah, now that the Rift Herald has started, however, the dragon is started up by the side of, Big Fat Int, and it's an Infernal Dragon, and early Infernal Dragon's pretty great. Not as great as an Ocean, but it's still pretty great. Now the Vision has come out. Flex Echo goes in for the steal, but it's going to be secured by Villananners. He's going to try to get out now. The Glacial Prison finds Villananners, but he's not going to get out quite yet. Trailing the Absolute Zero, and Flex Echo is going to find the kill. Emla picks that one up for himself, and Itumbo going really low on the top side of the map. The Demacian Justice is down, so it was used, and Itumbo's going to have to back off of this one.
Yeah, and I think that was a mistake from Villananners. Again, he went in, he did a good job securing the dragon, but I think he was out. He just needed to walk all the way out. Flex Echo might have been able to try to extend that range, but it's going to force them further into the team for a little bit better of an engagement, rather than just sitting there in the Absolute Zero. It's a tough call. It was well played by Echo, though, to get that Parallel Convergence stun down and knock him out of the Absolute Zero for the kill.
Yeah, absolutely. And something that we didn't really touch on is the synergy from the Sejuani into both of the solo lanes. Both of the solo laners are melee, so they're able to stack up that Sejuani. I believe it's the E. Yes, the E passive, just doing a lot of damage and getting that stun a lot easier than in terms of if the mid laner was ranged or the top laner was ranged. But since both Garen and Echo are melee, then the synergy is there, and you know, if the Alpha Kraka wants to go ahead and train that CC, then it's super easy.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to see them use that synergy just a little bit more than we have so far. Alpha Kraka has been pretty passive so far this game, but I think you've hit a good point now in the Sejuani where you have the Cinder Hulk finished, you have level 6, and I really want to see him make some plays now as we start to hit mid-game.
Yeah, now both junglers on the top side as the top laners are duking it out. However, it looks like the Alpha Crack is caught in the jungle, but that doesn't matter because Itumbo finds a really great trade on the Horny Yordle.
Yeah, unfortunately, because it's Garen, he can just sit behind the minion wave and start to regen with that passive. Oh, Dark Binding, just not able to connect there. And it's just been small differences that have really cost Big Fat Int so far.
Yeah, and now the feathers coming out on the Itsby pots has the flash available, will not need it. J-Werewolf uses the ultimate on the Flex Echo and going to take him fairly low. But now it looks like Villananners is on the way. Yeah, go ahead and pan over, and now the biggest snowball ever going to go wide. The Flex Echo goes into that one. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Alpha Kraka is going to stun up Itumbo. Horny Yoro looking for the Massey Injustice. He's going to find it.
Yeah, they bait Itumbo down into the river, into the 1v1. He was doing pretty well against Horny Yordle, but Alpha Kraka able to turn up and turn that fight back around. In the mid lane though, Jay Werewolf overestimating his burst just a little bit, not able to finish off Flex Echo, and Villananners in support wasn't quite enough to help out either. It just feels like a little bit of desync again from Big Fat Int.
Yeah, Big Fat Int trying to, you know, communicate with each other, trying to change this together, but it just doesn't look like it's there. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Horny Yordle is gonna find another turret plating for himself right before the 14-minute mark. He's grabbed most of that for himself, now sitting on 250 gold bounty, and he's going to be, yeah, that's like 1.5k on top of his counterpart Itumbo.
Yeah, the game's basically even, other than that. Like, that's a huge lead for Horny Yordle on the Garen, and we'll see if he can really make that worthwhile, because Garen isn't the best late game champion. We'll put it that way. We'll just leave it there.
Yeah, it's true. Garen is not the best late game champion, which is why we've seen him paired with Yuumi more often, especially in pro play, allowing him to, you know, be a better late game champion. But there's no Yuumi in this game. It's just Garen by himself, and he's going to get kited by the side of Big Fat Int, with the Ezreal, with the Urgot, you know, with the Veigar cage, being able to zone that away, and, you know, with the Morgana binding, able to hold him in place. There is enough peel on the side of Big Fat Int to be able to, you know, prevent Garen from being a monster, even if he is fed.
Yeah, something I wanted to touch on just a little bit is Jay Werewolf's Keystone. He actually went for the Arcane Comet on the Veigar. It's going to be a little bit more damage. I'm not going to get to talk about it. Maybe I am.
Yes, but the root's going to come out. That's going to be the True Shot Barrage now. There's going to be a flash and a heal from MLove and Kokomo Breezy. They're going to try to get out of this one, but it's B-Pots finding a great trade back onto the enemy team.
As I was saying, I think I'd prefer to see the Glacial Augment in this game. It's going to help scout and at least keep
Ooh, that's
Echo
a flash away
accountable.
from MLove, and it looks like the Alpha Crack is in the area, going to go forward with the Glacial Prison, going to miss that one.
Yeah, that was a really good flash by its B-Pots, and you'll take that trade every day of the week, though, if you're Flex. The ultimate in exchange for flash means that you can come back and look for that in a little bit.
Yeah, but Itumbo and Horny Yordle duking it out. Horny Yordle almost going down to the chains, and that's gonna be it. That's gonna be a solo kill in return for Itumbo.
Yeah, the shotgun knee coming up at just the right time to get enough damage to help trigger the meat grinder. And that's a good bounce back from Itumbo, and he'll start feeling a little bit more comfortable up in that top lane now. Probably should be able to finish up that Black Cleaver.
Yeah, now both teams posturing around the Mountain Dragon. There's a lot of vision for Flex Gaming, trying to, you know, find that Mountain Dragon, the first Drake of the game. And Echo playing really aggressive on the Jay Werewolf, as the lead that he once had has mostly evened out.
Yeah, I still like him playing as aggressively as he has. It's allowing him to proc that Z-Drive Resonance, his passive, very easily. It gives him that movement speed to help dodge out some of the abilities. That time just not quite able to connect on the second part of the Q or the extra auto attack, and you could see just how much of a difference it makes because he had to get hit by the missile, the W from Veigar.
Yeah, and the Alpha Kraken might find its B-Pots here now, engaging onto him. The ultimate might come out fairly soon, but the stun's going to come out first. Its B-Pots is in trouble. The root comes out on the MLove, but its B-Pots going to go down before anything happens. And Maxian finds the ultimate onto two members, but they're going to back away from this one. MLove trying to tank as much as he can. The Absolute Zero comes out, going to chunk him out. Jay Werewolf's going to pick one up for himself. Meanwhile, the Feathers on the backside going to take down the enemy team. Villananners forced to flash away. The Alpha Kraken flashes in return. That's going to be the slow and the stun finally, and that's gonna be 4 kills over to Flex Gaming. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Itumbo might find another one for himself. The ultimate is not quite up yet, but it is on the way.
Yeah, and they just didn't mark Kokomo Breezy during that fight. He was able just to continually auto-attack down. There was no threat, no damage on him, and MLove tanked up everything for forever with that Alistar. The Unbreakable Will really paying dividends for him, and able to buy time and distance for his 80 carry during that fight.
Yeah, and Horny Yordle is in trouble. The ultimate is available, and that's going to be another solo kill for Itumbo.
Yeah, and again, finishing up that Black Cleaver is a huge power spike for Urgot in this lane. He's able now to push back against the Garen, who's been ahead of the curve on him in items. He'll chain gun down this tower as well, and all of a sudden top lane has flipped, and Itumbo can be a very strong point of power for this Big Fat Int team.
Yeah, absolutely, and it looks like he's the only point of power right now, just because J Werewolf and its Pots have huge targets on their back in these fights. You know, from Echo, from MLove, finding these engages is really important onto those targets, but Itumbo might get left unchecked if he's not tanking up in the front line. Meanwhile, J Werewolf gets engaged on, he's going to find the stun onto J Werewolf, going to take him down. Now Villainaires is in trouble, he's going to try to get away from this one. The Aftershock is going to be tanky enough, he's going to take the Blast Cone over, but he might get slowed, possibly, but he looks like he's going to get out of this one, but he's going to have to give up his blue buff in exchange for his life.
Yeah, he gives up his blue buff and his mid laner in exchange for his life, and the 2v2 from Echo and Sejuani just so much stronger right now than the Nunu and Veigar, and that's a gank that you can continue to force all day if you're Flex Gaming.
Yeah, and we see the huge advantage in terms of top lane from Itumbo now onto horny Yordle, and I'd really like to see Big Fat Int look for this Rift Herald. No, never mind. It's 19 minutes and 45 seconds. They cannot possibly look for the Rift Herald. I made a mistake.
It's all right. We all lose track of time during these games anyway. And Echo, that's really nice, able to solo out that mid tower. And
yeah, Flex Echo trying to find a kill on the J Werewolf. The ultimate comes out, and that's going to be... Oh my goodness. He takes the solo kill, and now Villainaire is trying to trade one back, but it's not going to be enough. Flex Echo absolutely outplays J Werewolf.
Yeah, really nicely done by Echo. He knew his damage, knew he needed that extra auto attack so that he could plop down that ignite and pick up the kill. Gets it for himself, and not J Werewolf just a little bit of damage shy of being able to chunk him out. Now B-Pots.
Yeah, B-Pot's going to be forced to flash away here. The stun comes out, and that's going to be the True Shot Barrage. Damage trading onto both bot lanes. And now Villainaires is here. He's going to channel the biggest snowball ever. We'll see if he finds anybody here. Looking for a target. Kokomo Breezy is in the bush. He does not know that, however, and he's going to go ahead and back away from this one. Echo is in the area. We'll see if the dive comes out pretty darn soon. They spot out Echo on that ward.
Yeah, and everybody's super low for Big Fat Int. They need to get out of here now.
Yeah, Echo goes in. The binding is going to go wide. He's going to not land the parallel convergence, but it does not matter. He's going to go on the It's Pops. The absolute zero comes out, and Flex Echo about to get stunned up. He's going to get taken down. That's going to be a shutdown for Maxian. Meanwhile, MLove trying to tank this one up. He has no support from his team. Kokomo Breeze decides to go for the tower instead, leaving his support and trade for the tower. J Werewolf is on the chase. The biggest snowball ever not going to come out, and both teams are going to back out this one.
Yeah, that was such a good stun over the wall from J Werewolf. He was a little bit late to the fight, but able to help clean it up, and that's a good catch by Big Fat Int. I actually really like the tower take from Kokomo Breezy, and Alpha Kraka able to get some damage down on this inner tower in mid lane as well. It feels like the game's being dictated by Flex, and Big Fat Int just one step behind right now, trying to respond.
Yeah, Big Fat Int not necessarily playing around anything in particular. They're just responding to Flex Gaming, which is they're playing exceptionally well in this early game. They're finding what they need. Actually now it's transitioned to the mid game, but they're finding these plays onto the outer turrets, able to take that for themselves, and now they're moving on to the inner turrets. The Baron has spawned, but Alpha Kraken might be caught here. J Werewolf looking for the stun, not going to find it.
And this is just a situation where I think I'd like to see the Glacial augment a little bit better. You can throw the Super Soaker into the bush and slow up Alpha Kraka to enable the stun. Yeah, and now they're going to actually abandon their Vigor.
Yeah, Echo going on to J Werewolf, trying to find that one, but almost going to find it. He's going to flash away. Itumbo's in the front line now. That's going to be a huge AoE onto Flex Gaming, and Itumbo finds the chains. He finds the fear, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to get taken down before he can channel. It's Bebop's trying to save this one. Kokomo Breezy flashes forward. He's going to look for the kill. The Featherstorm comes out. It's going to be one more auto. He's going to find it. Maxian trying to save the game, but it's not going to be enough. And now the Baron's going to go over to Flex Gaming.
1/10 of a second is all they needed, and that fight turns on its head. Itumbo has MLove in the grinder. The AoE fear would have been enough that they could have won that fight, but instead he goes down before it gets off, and Flex Gaming powers through everything. That's almost an ace with Maxian being the only one left alive. That'll be the Baron for Flex Gaming.
Yes, the fight was so close. It was one ultimate away from turning the fight, but iTumbo could not complete that one. It was excellent target selection from Flex Gaming, choosing to put all their damage onto iTumbo before he could channel that ultimate and, you know, win the fight for his team. But that was just so close. Either team could have won it right there and then picked up the Baron right after, but we see Flex Gaming in control.
Yeah, and it's so hard. Maxian wasn't in the fight, not able to help throw down that AoE CC. J-Werewolf dies with his ultimate up. Villananners dies with his ultimate up. And it's just the small little plays that aren't going Big Fat Int's way, and that's costing them right now. Flex, to their credit, taking advantage of that, I guess just bursting down the Urgot is what I'm trying to say. They burst him just quick enough that they're able to turn the fight, and they're picking up the objectives now, just rolling through them.
Yeah, picking up a Cloud Dragon for themselves, pretty significant now, the blue buff, and they move into the bot lane. The wave is already there. They're going to look to siege this bot lane turret while they put Horny Yordle in the mid lane to pressure that one.
Yeah, and the 1-4 setup I think is ideal. You have the teleport on Garen, so this is a good setup right now for Flex. They'll take one tower already, as nobody can really respond to the Garen other than the Urgot, and right now Big Fat Int just not set up to respond to the split push.
Yeah, Big Fat Int not really sure what they can do because iTumbo can't
Hex Flash!
clear. But that's the Hex Flash on the J-Werewolf. He's going to get taken down so quickly. And now it looks like lights out for Big Fat Int as the inhibitor turrets are the next goal. We see Alpha Cracker on the side going to zone away some of the enemy team. Now iTumbo caught in the middle of 3. He's going to get stunned up, going to get rooted up, going to get taken down. Now Echo looking for more. That's going to be the flash forward from nobody. Absolutely. The Glacial Prison comes out. It's Beepot's trying to get out with the arcane shift, but it's not going to be enough. Flex Echo going to tank up that turret, going to use the ultimate to take back all his health, and now it looks like the game for Flex Gaming.
Yeah, and they just we saw it last game by GSM. We see Flex Gaming do it this time. They set up in that 1-4. They play it out perfectly. The Hex Flash from M-Love to set up the pick on J-Werewolf, and then they close out the game in pretty dominant fashion. We'll see if they can pick up some extra kills at the end.
Yeah, and the Nexus is the target. They're looking for Maxian now, not going to find it, and they're going to get the shutdown on the Horny Yordle, but they're going to get the game instead. Flex Gaming moves themselves to 1 and 2 in the standings.
Yeah, so Flex Gaming picking up their first win. I really liked their decisiveness. And then they played out the 1-4 perfectly at the end. I really like that look from Flex Gaming. Hopefully they can continue that through, but not against my team.
Yeah, Flex Gaming looking like they could be contenders for playoffs. They're very decisive, looking for these plays in the mid game very well, but their early game's just lacking a little bit. They were really passive in the early game when they could have made more plays. But we saw the complete out jungle from the Alpha Cracker onto who's the jungler for Big Fat Int this game. Yes, and onto Villanators, really up in CS, well, despite none of the junglers really looking for gank. So that was really surprising. And we'll see if he can pick that up, like moving forward into the rest of the weeks. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a break and move into our 5th and final game of the day, which is going to be Maris to Max game. It's going to be Return of the Millsticks versus FF15, please. Hello and welcome back to GRLCS Fall Split 2019 Gold Division Week 3, and we move on to our fifth and final game of the day, Return of the Middlesticks versus FF15, please.
Yeah, and these are two teams looking to bounce back from last week, and we'll see how it goes. I do get a screen share.
Yes, you do get a screen share, fortunately, but we'll go and introduce the teams. On the blue side, we have FF15, please. In the top lane, we have... Let me fix this real quick. Alright, in the top lane, we have Holy on Dr. Mundo. In the jungle, we have Penguin Job 818 on Warwick. In the mid lane, we have Blobby on Galio. In the bot lane, we have Starfall and Bakuga on Jinx and Morgana.
And on the top side of the map, we have a team I've never seen before in my life. With Zale 1212 in the top lane on Cho'Gath. Sieg the Stampede in the jungle on Nocturne. Somebody named Meristematic playing mid-Lux. And Tall Guy and Glitter and Gains in the bot lane playing Kaisa and Janna.
Yeah, and Glitter and Gains coming late to the party as the invade has already happened. I believe that the enemy team was spotted out on that ward as they were moving into the jungle, but they're not going to find anybody because everybody moves away from this big invade. They're gonna move in this tri-brush here. They're gonna see the enemy team, but what are they gonna really do about it? They're too close to tower to be able to do anything. But meanwhile, on the top side of the map, Return of the Middlesticks finds some really good stuff, finding the ward, and it looks like they're gonna start on the top side of the map.
Yeah, I'll confirm that we saw it, and also that Glitter didn't know that she had crashed at the start of the game, and then we had to pause there for a second.
Yeah.
Insider information on the game.
But Holy might be in trouble. He spots out two members. Is he going to try to save the blue buff for his jungler? No, he is not. They're going to go ahead and opt for the vertical jungle then, knowing that the blue buff has been taken. Penguin Job moving into the other side of the jungle now. Is it Seek the Stampede or is it Siege the Stampede? Seek. Okay, all right. I think I've been getting it wrong, or I've been getting it half wrong. I've been pronouncing it Siege every other time. All right.
Yeah, it's Siegmund the Stampedemund.
Okay.
The great jungler. Something to point out is because of that invade, both of the solo laners for Return of the Middlesticks going to get to lane just a little bit late, and that's going to give Dr. Mundo and Galio early shoves, and that might make it a little bit more difficult to respond to the vertical jungling that's going on.
Yeah, and it looks like Penguin Job's going to clear out the entire bot side of Seek the Stampede, and it looks like the same, but vice versa for Seek the Stampede and Penguin Job. But it's going to be really interesting seeing how both these junglers scale up because they're both level 6 junglers, where we can gank a little bit earlier than Nocturne, more like just because of the CC in his kit, he has the fear. But ideally, they both power farm to level 6, looking for, that... Ooh, that's a great binding onto Tall Guy. He does not need to use the cleanse, but that's going to be an excellent trade for FF15, please.
Yeah, that's just set up by Starfall and Bakuga hitting level 2 first. They put the pressure on. Tall Guy hit level 2, but Glitter and Gains was 1 minion behind, and that meant that she didn't have access to that second ability, and Starfall and Bakuga take full advantage of that and able to get through a couple of health pots.
Yeah, let's talk about we'll talk about the top lane matchup real quick. So we have Dr. Mundo versus Cho'Gath. What should both sides look to do here?
Dr. Mundo just wants to exist. If he can exist for a while, he'll gain the advantage in the side lane, but Cho'Gath should be stronger than him early unless you get some jungle help.
Yeah, and now Penguin Job is on the way. The fear comes out, and he's gonna flash the Rupture. That's incredible, and he's looking for more. Going on the Zero, he's gonna find first blood. Meanwhile, Seek the Stampede looks for a kill on the Holy, trying to find the return kill, but he's not going to find it quite yet. He's gonna fear Penguin Job, but I think he's gonna get feared right back, and that's a double kill for Penguin Job.
Yeah, just not respecting the amount of healing that Warwick has access to. When he's below 50% health, he gets double healing on his Q and also his auto attacks. And that means that Zale and Seek both go down in that top lane and already off to the races for Penguin Job. He goes back and just straight up buys a Tiamat. Why not?
Yeah, and it's so surprising because Zale is this really strong top laner, trading really well in the 1v1, but not necessarily respecting the jungler now. Looking into the split, Zale was one of the more highly rated top laners, just because he played in plat for the past, I believe, 2 splits. So it's really interesting to see him in gold cap now, as he couldn't find a team in plat cap. So we really expect him to be dominating the scene. And that is the case with the 1v1, but with the jungler, not necessarily the case. And the dive comes in. Now the root comes in on Glitter and Gains, and she's gonna go down. And now Blobby looking for more. Tall guy finding the taunt on the 2. Penguin Job is on the way, but he's gonna get zoned away instead. They're gonna find a ton of turret plating off this one. They're gonna back off.
Yeah, and this is just the champions that they pick. Warwick and Galio both have access to percentage damage reduction early on. That means that they can look for this dive bottom lane without any particular issue. And there's not just a huge amount of CC or tricks right now without access to those ultimates that Kaisa and Janna have available. Sieg just a step behind on the rotation, and that means that Glitter's going to pay for it. And right now, the tempo advantage and the kills just going the way of FF15, please. And everywhere Penguin Job has gone, success has followed so far.
Yeah, Penguin Job doing an excellent job of carrying the early game, but we know it's not a one-man job. Maristamak getting traded on with the newly reworked Galio. He's going to have to flash away.
Yeah, and that was just a good combo by Blobby and Maristamak not respecting the amount of damage that Blobby's going to put out. And yeah, AP Galio is just kind of disgusting right now. They've really buffed that into relevance. I guess that's what Riot wants to see rather than the tank and the support Galio.
Yeah, looking at that AB Galio, it just does so much damage. It's absurd, but without that the W flash, there's more counterplay, I would say, but it's still really difficult to play into, and that's why I really like that Manishtomatic brought the cleanse, but he didn't use it in that trade, and he was forced to flash instead.
Yeah, not that I'm in his head or anything, but maybe just not expecting the amount of damage to come out from the Winds of War. And yeah, anyway, that's a solo dragon for Penguin Job, by the way.
Yeah.
Able to pick up that Earth Dragon at 6 minutes, and he's just able to set the tempo and do whatever he's wanted to do this game. And there hasn't been any pressure put on by Return of the Middlesticks yet.
Yeah, and Penguin Job grabbing that Mountain Dragon is only 1 camp behind, surprisingly. He took the Mountain Dragon quickly enough to, not fall behind, but the root comes out. Starfall looking for more. Blobby goes on the Maris. The cleanse comes out. He's going to get rooted up. The level 6 is available. Maristamak might look for the final spark. Yes, final spark.
Yeah, Finale's Funkin', rest in peace.
Yes, final spark. Finale's funkin' indeed. But yeah, the early Mountain Dragon for side of FF15 Please is pretty good, just because their bot lane is constantly pushing onto this bot tower. They're getting that turret plate, and they have demolished from Bakuga, and it's just really excellent. Now they're going to force away the first turret at 7 minutes and 40 seconds. That's incredible.
Yeah. Just that pressure that they're able to put on means that Tall Guy and Glitter and Gains can't step up in that lane. Sieg just hit level 6 on that Nocturne, so he's basically able to be a champion right now, but there's just no way to match Galio and Warwick walking into the jungle right now.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that Blobby is able to get away from lane so much, but not necessarily lose anything. He's still up in CS at this point. So that's really surprising because he's visited bot lane twice now. I'm surprised that Maristamak wasn't able to, make up that difference in CS.
Yeah, the AP Galio wave clear is actually just disgusting. He just kind of one-shots the wave, and it's not super fun. I don't know what more to say. Sieg's going to go ahead and take away the enemy blue buff right now, so at least trying to get that counter jungle back, trying to even up some of those camps right now.
Yeah, now Zale getting the push on the Holy. And Holy, just trying to survive, as you said, and he's doing a pretty good job now, picking up 2 assists for himself, not losing too much of the turret plating. And now that he is at level 7, he has access to his ultimate. He's looking pretty good, but the lane swap has been called by FF15 Please. And do you think this lane swap is a good call?
Yeah, there's no dragon on the map right now. There's no tower on the bottom side. You might as well take your shoving bottom lane, head up to the top side, and see what can happen. Maristamak's rotated up here. Sieg has ultimate available. We'll see what can happen on this run.
As soon as they get vision on Bakuga, they might go onto him. The rupture is dodged and sidestep, but the ultimate comes out. Paranoia comes out. Final spark picks up a kill on the Bakuga, and now Penguin Job is in trouble. He's gonna have to flash away from this one, but that's gonna be a kill back over the Return of the Middlesticks.
Yeah, meanwhile in mid lane though, Blobby able to get some pressure down. Penguin Job's gonna find Zale.
Yeah, Zale's gonna get engaged on right here. The Chilling Spike comes out, and that's gonna be the ultimate, canceling the Rupture, but it's not gonna be enough. Blobby comes in with the ultimate, trying to back up his team. He's gonna dodge the Rupture with his dash, and Seeking the Stampede is gonna get flashed on. He's in trouble. He's gonna go down. Maristamak is caught on the side here. Starfall gonna slow him down, and it's going to be an engage by Blobby. But meanwhile, the Killer Instinct comes in. Tall Guy is on the side, and this might be a good fight for Return of the Middlesticks. The binding comes out from Bakuga. He's back up, and that's gonna buy Starfall enough time to get away from this one.
Yeah, and that's all 5 members invested. Oh,
just 1 second. Tall Guy found Starfall. Glittering Games here to support. He's gonna go down, and now Bakuga is left all alone. Penguin Job coming in. They might look for this right here. The ultimate is not up for Penguin Job, but they might go in anyway. And yes, they are, and now Glittering Games is in trouble. They're going to look for Tall Guy, however. He's going to get knocked back, and now the TP channeling in for Return of the Middlesticks. Zale's on his way. That's a flash forward from Tall Guy. Bakuga going to go very low, but not low enough. The binding comes out, and is going to bind up Glittering Games. The final spark comes out and picks up a kill for Bakuga. I'm sorry, for Maristamak onto Bakuga.
Yeah, and we didn't see Holy involved in any of that fight. He just went mid, pushed some minions into that turret, got another turret plate for himself. So that was basically just 4v5 the entire time, and Return of the Middlesticks takes a small advantage there, able to get some extra kills, but still falling behind in CS in pretty much every lane.
Yeah, and this game has turned into absolute chaos as the first turret was taken so early. Neither team really knows what to do. They aren't committing to anything in particular. And now that the Infernal Dragon is spawning, we have Starfall in the top lane, but all members of Return of the Middlesticks are in the area looking for the dragon. It's going to spawn in 3 seconds.
Yeah, and Starfall's just now recalling in the top lane. I don't know if Return of the Middlesticks are aware of this, but they should have the inside track on this Infernal Dragon.
Yeah, and the Paranoia comes out onto Bakuga, who's going to put out the spell shield. Now he's going to get turned on. Seeking Stampede taking a lot of damage. Penguin Job looking for something. He's going to dodge the Rupture once again with his ultimate, and now Zale's going to get binded up. Penguin Job going to get taken down. The final spark is going to find another one onto Bakuga, and now Seeking the Stampede turns onto the dragon. He's going to get taken down by the Super Mega Death Rocket, however, and now Holy has joined the fray. It looks like neither team's going to commit to the dragon quite yet, but Return of the Middlesticks moves over.
Yeah, Return of the Middlesticks moves over. They have a small numbers advantage for a little bit as Bakuga and Penguin Job just now respawning. We'll see if they can commit fully to this. They don't have a jungler, but they, I believe, have Feast available.
Yeah, they have the Feast available. Now Blobby comes in with the ultimate, goes on the Zale. The Tall Guy's caught. He finds himself in the middle of Holy, and Holy's going to take him down. Meanwhile, Starfall left unchecked in this fight. Now Zale's taken very low. They're looking for more, and they're going to find the root and the kill onto Zale. Not quite yet. The Monsoon comes out from Glittering Games, is going to save his life, but the Infernal Dragon goes over the FF15, please.
Still might not be done here.
Yeah, now Maristamak finds Bakuga, looking for the final spark once more, but the binding comes out. Penguin Job is going to go in. The binding's going to dissuade him, however, but Zale is on the way. The final spark comes out, not going to find another kill on the Bakuga, but now Holy's on the side looking for the flank. They might look for more here, and Maristamak is now, and they're going to back off of this one.
Ooh, on the replay, that looks like that should have hit. It was a little bit wide in live, but on the replay, that looks like it just passes straight through Bakuga on the ult. I feel a little bit gypped on that one. But yeah, it's a good fight. It's good pressure from FF15, please. And Return of the Middlesticks splits, and that's the big issue. Tall Guy and Maristamak go to the north side of the Baron Pit, whereas Zale and Glitter and Gaines go to the south side. But all of FF15, please, stay together. They're able to take down Tall Guy and run their way through the Dragon Pit afterwards.
Yeah, and now that FF15 picked up 2 dragons for themselves, their attention must turn to the Rift Herald. It's only 14 minutes in the game, and that Rift Herald is not going anywhere anytime soon. But they need to look for these picks first before they just start out the Rift Herald, because they're getting picked off themselves, and now they find almost a binding on the Maristamak, who's going to barely dodge that one.
Yeah, but now the siege coming in, Bakuga and Starfall are here with Blobby. The double demolish procs just chunking through the tower in mid lane.
Yeah, now that Starfall is here, nobody is in the side lanes for FF15, please, except for Holy matching the Kaisa. Now we see the binding come out. Maristamag trying to find a pick so that his team can find something, and the Paranoia is available. We'll see if they opt to use it pretty soon. It looks like Bakuga's pretty low, but Penguin Job goes in. They're gonna find the turret for themselves, but Tall Guy is caught out on the side. Holy finds him. He's gonna slow him down, but Blobby now going in. He's gonna use the killer instinct to try to get out, but it looks like somebody else is caught. Seek the Stampede gonna go down instead. The Monsoon comes out, going to push Holy away, who's going to be healed up pretty darn nicely, and now the attention turns to the Rift Herald.
Yeah, and it's so difficult because they want to sit Tall Guy up in a side lane to get his farm back, as he's just so far behind Starfall on those items. But every time that he groups up, he seems to get caught or take a bad path, or the other team just capitalizing really well. And FF15, please, just asserting the tempo that they want right now.
Yeah, and now Maristamag finds an excellent binding, but it's going to get taunted up by Blobby. He's almost going to get taken out, but he's going to try to get away from this one. Meanwhile, in the middle, Zale's going to get feared by Penguin Job, who's secured the Rift Herald for his team. Blobby comes back with the ultimate, but Glittering Game's going to get away from this one with the NATO.
Yeah, and a good collapse again by FF15, please. The start of the fight doesn't go super well, but Bakuga able to buy enough time with that stopwatch, and the Rift Herald goes the way of FF15, please. They'll drop that in the mid lane, and we'll see how much they can get now with Maristamag and Tall Guy down.
Yeah, Maristamag and Taller Guy are down. They're definitely going to get this inner turret, and we'll see how much they get of this inhibitor turret. You know, Jinx does do a lot of damage to this, but they probably shouldn't opt for it because the Paranoia is up and the rest of the team is on their way.
Yeah, and now maybe we can slow down just a little bit. The tempo from FF15, please, has been so high this game. It's felt like there's no room to breathe for Return to the Middle Sticks or for you, for that matter, for our play-by-play.
Yeah, now the Paranoia comes out. The Spell Shield going to block away the fear. He's going to get feared away himself. But now the Spell Shield is going to time out, but it's not going to be enough. Seeking Stampede finally catching up. We'll see if his fear is back up. The Final Spark going to find him, and Maristamag picks one up for himself.
Yeah, just able to find enough damage and crowd control there, as they do track down Penguin Job after overstaying a little bit too long on that blue buff. And now the siege in mid lane, as you have the Lux and Janna combo to try to ward everybody away from the turret.
Yeah, but see the Stampede stepping a little bit too close. The main wave now
top
timing
lane,
out. Yeah, looking at the top lane, it looks like they're pushing onto that inner turret, and Return of the Millsticks is not offering anybody to move there. Now Zale finally backing, but Holy and Starfall are going to pick that one up for themselves.
Yeah, and just the split up from FF15, please, basically forcing Return of the Middle Sticks into a lose-lose situation. They don't get the mid turret either, so it's just hemorrhaging gold at this point. It's 7,000 in the lead now for FF15, please.
Yeah, and FF15, please. This is a new version of FF15, please. They're playing the map so well. This is so surprising because in the past 2 weeks, we haven't seen them play for this. This is uncharacteristic of them. And now that they're playing against Return of the Millsticks in such a dominating fashion, then I hope to see more of this moving forward.
Yeah, I think that FF15, please, is definitely a better team than they've indicated so far. Maybe a little bit of bias there, maybe a little bit of hope, but they're playing really well so far to the start of this game. We'll have to see if they can close it out with authority.
Yeah, and now Zale might be caught out here. He's going to get slowed up by Holy. Bakuga now chunked out. If he finds himself in the binding, he's going to go down. But Maristamag finds himself in the binding instead. That's a lot of damage from Blobby. The Paranoia comes out, and they're going to come back and peel that one. Meanwhile, Penguin Job looking onto the backline. And the Holy's going to flash, not going to flash forward, but Zale's going to get slowed up. The Rupture comes out, but there's going to be another Cleaver coming fairly soon. Blobby doing a lot of damage. That's going to be the taunt coming out. He's going to pick another one up for himself. And the Dragon's gonna go over the FF15, please.
Yeah, and a lot of split decisions there from Return of the Middle Sticks. Should they engage on the Dragon? Should they fight? Should they peel? And it costs them, as Bakuga fishes out nicely with that Dark Binding, able to hit Maristamag. Didn't have Cleanse available, and it just sets up the fight super nicely with the major damage dealer down.
Yeah, and they pick up that last inner turret, and now they're just looking at the inhibitor turrets now. The Baron is spawning in approximately 45 seconds, and we'll see what FF15 decides to do with all this pressure. They've been doing a great job being proactive thus far, finding the fights that they need, finding the picks that they need onto members of Return of the Middlesticks, and just counter-engaging so well.
Yeah, and it's like full item leads in pretty much every lane. Only Zale is really hanging in terms of item count, but it's an extra item in the mid lane, an extra item at ADC, and that's just such a huge amount of gold to try to swing upwards at. Even if you find a perfect fight, the enemy team's just doing so much damage that if you don't immediately delete them, that you just lose. And it's a really difficult task now for Return of the Middlesticks to fight back in.
Yeah, but Kuga might get caught here. He finds the binding on the glitter and gains, but not going to find anything in return. He was spotted on a ward, however. Now we see FF15 please controlling that Baron vision that they so desperately need to be able to close out this game.
Yeah, I'd love to see them take Holy and put him just bottom lane. He's got teleport available. I don't know that Zale can match up super well with him right now. At the very worst, it's even, and you help spread out the map and help find picks maybe like that.
Yeah, but
Maybe
now
not like
Blobby
that.
overextends a little bit. The Paranoia is available, but they're going to opt not to use that one. Never mind, Zale's going in with the Righteous Glory. The Paranoia is available. They're going to take this one out. Paranoia comes out on the Blobby. He's going to try to get out of this one, but the Final Spark does so much damage. He's going to get shut down by Zale. And now the mid lane, however, Starfall and Bakuga and Penguin Job are on the way. They're looking to threaten the end here, but they're going to grab the inhibitor for sure. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Holy pushing that one in, and they're going to go ahead and rotate over. They don't have the Baron to be able to, siege this so expertly, but an excellent call from FF15, please, losing their mid laner in the top lane, but grabbing the inhibitor in exchange.
Yeah, they do a really good job capitalizing on Return of the Middlesticks collapsing on their mid laner. They use it to get pressure in the mid lane, take down the inhibitor, and now they can use that inhibitor pressure to potentially take down Baron.
Yeah, and the Baron has been started. They look to spot them out. Maristamak is on the side, going to find the binding on the Bakuga, finding the final spark, chunking them out. But now Blobby is going to catch him out with the TP. There's going to be the ultimate coming in with Blobby. Zale's going to be forced to flash out, but Seeks the Stampede is going to have to try to flash in and steal this one. He's not going to find the steal. Taunt comes out. That's going to be a flash over on the Zale, and they might just look to end the game here. Only the bot lane of Return of the Middlesticks remains.
Yeah, that was so close on the smite from Sieg. It was actually Bokuga that wound up securing the Baron for FF15, please, and we'll see if Return of the Middlesticks can put on the best base defense you've ever seen with Tall Guy and Glitter and Gains.
Yeah, and we'll see what they can do. Glitter and Gains doing a great job this game, staying alive, 1-2-8 scoreline, with the rest of her team not doing so hot. But we'll see what they can do with the Nexus defense. They look onto the first Nexus turret, the Demolish procs come out. That's going to be a final spark, chunking out Blobby, but it might not be enough. The rest of the team is up. They're going to look for the engage. Holy trying to end the game here. That's going to be a jump forward from Blobby, going to take down Glitter and Gains. They're looking for the Nexus, and they're going to find it. Holy ends the game, and that's going to bring FF15 to 1-2 over Return of the Middlesticks.
Yeah, it'll put both of them at 1-2 and set up that bottom of the standings, the place where you're looking for that last couple playoff spots in Gold Capped is going to be a mess now. With Get Money Boys falling to 1-2, Golden Crabs falling to 1-2, and now Return of the Middlesticks also 1-2. Flex and FF15 please picking up their first wins. Everybody's 1-2 basically right now, and it's just a mess.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute mess. And this is so surprising that Return of the Middlesticks is now 1-2, because looking into the beginning of the split, everybody expected them to be one of the top teams in the division. But now that they've fallen to 1-2, we'll see if they can pick it up for the rest of the season, trying to, pick up some of these wins against some of the higher ranked teams, like Kaiju Gaming and GSM and, the Mighty Ducks, trying to catapult themselves into the top of the standings.
Yeah, it'll definitely be an interesting next couple of weeks, and we'll see how it all goes.
Yeah, but that's going to be our fifth and final game of the day. That was Return of the Middlesticks taking the L versus FF15, please, who absolutely dominated them, playing the map super well. But we're going to go ahead and end the stream for the day. I am Darren Markhames Win. I was here with Maristamak, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.